There's a lot of decisions you have to make when you have a baby. And the one that I feel the most comfortable and safe making is using Huggies for our daughter, River. The new Huggies Skin Essentials are here. A brand new dermatologist-approved line of diapers, wipes, and pull-ups training pants are all designed with baby's sensitive skin in mind.
Their wipes have zero harsh ingredients for a great, gentle clean.
The Skin Essentials diapers features the Skin Protect liner, which is what helps take care of the ick and stick that can cause rash.
Their whole diaper helps protect against the top 2 causes of rash by managing moisture and runny mess. Pull-Up Skin Essentials has got your big kid covered too with a training pant that is ultra soft and breathable to help protect sensitive skin throughout potty training. Learn more at Huggies.com. Once again, head to Huggies.com to learn more. This show is brought to you by Built Rewards. Listen up, renters. Ever feel like you're stuck in this loop of rent payments, just watching your money vanish into thin air? It's time to turn the rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. That's where Built Rewards comes in. Built Rewards is breaking ground as the first reward program that hooks you up with points on your rent.
Even if you're still rocking the old school rent check vibes, Built Rewards has got your back. They'll mail the check for you. It's like having a personal rent-paying assistant. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Built points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points towards a flight or hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700K hotels and properties. Or even use your points to sweat it out. Redeem your points to book fitness studio classes. You can also use your points towards a future rent payment or towards future down payment on a home. Pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Built Points has been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate.
Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/VIALL. That is joinbuilt, BILT.com/VIALL. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Again, joinbuilt.com/VIALL to start earning points with your rent payments today.
You're crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I am your host, Nick, joined by the household. We're at the lake. They're in LA. Happy 4th of July week, everybody. What day? What's today?
Today is July 2nd.
July 2nd. Happy 4th of July week, everybody. We got the 4th of July coming up in a couple days. We figured we drop one more episode for y'all. Hope you're all feeling patriotic. We're up at the lake trying to enjoy the 4th of July. Do you guys have any 4th of July plans?
Go home.
You're going back to Sacramento?
Yeah, where it will also be very hot.
Yeah, I'm going to Big Bear. It's going to
Okay.
be 95 degrees and our cabin does not have AC, so pray for
Oh.
me.
Exactly what you'd want to be doing. In how many months pregnant
Are
are
you
Nine-
you?
having a
9 months
Janet
pregnant,
baby
yeah.
shower in Big Bear?
Oh my God, you are.
I should, right?
Why did you guys pick? This is you own this cabin? Is it part of the fam?
No, it's just a family trip. And I told him, I'm like, you're really going to take me?
Why did we select a non-air conditioned cabin?
No, most of them don't have AC, the cabins.
Oh,
So we're going to buy a bunch of portable fans
Oh no.
okay.
and
Okay.
The ones where you put like
We'll
we'll
you
ice
the
see.
in it.
best of
I may
luck.
leave early.
Yeah.
Can you like sweat out a baby? How does that work?
Induce it early.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if I eat this new Heinz sauce, I'll go into labor.
Oh my God.
Oh boy. Anyways, we do have a lot to get into. Obviously, we have Andrea from Love Island with us, who recently left the island unceremoniously. She was voted off by the ladies. Didn't seem to be quite fair. We'll obviously get her input on all things that happen Love Island style. But before we do, we have apparently what Zach made a patriotic American history game in honor of 4th of July to test not only ours, but the entire households, all you listeners out there, your American history knowledge. Is that correct?
Yes. We all took U.S. history at some point in our lives, and I'm just very curious to see how much of that was retained. How
None.
much? Well,
Literally.
We're going to embarrass ourselves here. Household can't do math or U.S.
Yeah.
history.
We the people.
Well, I would like to think that I might do
Nick,
okay.
No,
I
Yeah.
think
Nick
you're
is
going to
a
do really
genius.
well.
He's good at
Nick
guessing.
literally is so
Well, let's
smart.
not. No, she's trying to
no,
hype
she's
me up
setting
right
him
now.
up.
No.
Like,
No, seriously, I truly hope River gets all of Nick's brain because I am
that's not true. That's
an
not
idiot and you are so smart.
You're
No,
not.
Nick, you have a really good memory.
true. Well, obviously, you want the household, everyone listening, to play along with us and test your American history to see how much you don't know about America. Where's your patriotism lie?
Yeehaw.
Exactly. Let us all know. All right.
Zach came up with all these questions, so we'll see. Well, you know what this game really is called? How much of a dick is Zach?
Yeah,
Oh.
truly.
Let's
'Cause
decide
he could
based.
be like,
Yeah.
he could be like, who is our 46th president? I know that.
Navi's like, who is our 16th? I don't know.
I don't know that.
Anyways, go ahead. All right, let's get into it.
All right.
Is Zach a dick?
The U.S. flag was designed and chosen in 1777 by Betsy
God.
Ross.
I thought you were going to ask me who.
I was hoping the
know.
question.
No,
I was
no, no,
hoping
no,
that
no,
was
no,
the
no.
question.
I knew it was Betsy.
Hold on. Let's get to this. Is the question. How many white stripes are on the U.S. flag?
14.
13.
It's 12.
It's one of those three.
There's
Yeah,
13
it's-
colonies.
Let
Well,
me
no, because there was
8.
let me re-ask the question. How many white stripes are on the U.S. flag?
None, because they're all red stripes.
No. So there are white stripes, but if
How
there's
many-
13 colonies, then it's out of the 13, how many are white?
It should be less than the red.
Yeah.
Because the red represents the 13 colonies.
Listen, we don't need description. We just need
Well,
an
that was
answer.
the old flag. The
There's
old flag
6.
had
There's
13
6.
stars.
There are 6.
Yeah.
Good job,
6.
Jessica.
Wow.
Good job,
how did that? How did
Justin.
you come to that
There's
conclusion?
13 colonies. The stripes are the
Yeah.
colonies, so there has to be there's the red and there's the white. So I just 6
Yep.
is one more than
And the
5.
red is on top and on bottom. So,
That should get a guess.
all right,
Mhm.
next one. The First Amendment gives the right to free speech. The Second Amendment gives the right to bear arms. Describe another amendment.
Describe any amendment?
The
Just give us the number and what it does.
The 22nd Amendment was you can't run for president more than twice.
That is correct.
Woo!
Good
All
job,
right, Leia.
Leia.
All right,
Good
good
job.
On
Is-
that-
what is-
Some
is,
random
is the
amendment.
is the Fifth Amendment the right not to perjure yourself or
I
Yeah,
played the 5th, yeah.
I played the fifth.
Plead- plead the Fifth?
Yay.
All right, how about this
Good job,
one?
honey?
Marbury versus
Oh.
Madison is one of the most foundational Supreme Court cases in our nation's history, originating the concept of judicial review. What is judicial review?
When a bunch of judges review a case
In court,
in court and setting precedent or
It's the
something.
jury.
in like City Hall.
Precedent sounds
No,
right.
it has to do with judges.
Isn't
It does have to do with judges.
Well, who else? said the jury?
Unfortunately,
Someone
this
said the jury.
judge will not take that answer.
You can't have conflict of interest.
No.
Judges have to review other judges.
You guys keep saying
Yeah,
judges.
have to. That's my answer too. Judges have to review
Like-
other judges.
like
we
there's
would
a
obviously
way to
just
become
be
a judge.
guessing.
It's like checks. Yeah.
Checks and balances.
Okay, all right. Wait, hold on. You
Check.
did get there sort of barely in the end. It is very much related to checks and balances. However, it's not a check on the judicial branch. It's the judiciary having a check on the legislative branch. Judicial
Okay.
review is the ability for the
Review
Supreme
legislation.
Court to deem a law unconstitutional.
All right, we're
There you go.
learning.
Yeah.
We're relearning. I should
All right.
say.
How about this one? In some ways, you could say that Franklin D. Roosevelt was America's first podcaster. What was the name of his evening radio broadcasts during World War II?
This is definitely not in any sort of textbook I would have ever been a part of.
These are niche questions.
It's the U.S. Constitution.
I was looking for how many states are in the United States. That's the type of question I'm looking for.
Going to bed with Rosie.
No, these were the fireside chats.
Okay.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fireside chats. All right.
Okay.
Kind of a good name.
Lincoln is on the penny. Roosevelt is on the dime. Washington is on the quarter. Which president is on the $50?
Franklin.
That exists?
Franklin is not a president.
Oh
Benjamin Franklin?
Oh my God.
Wait.
What he was. Are you sure?
I feel like-
Garfield?
no! I feel like I
Oh,
should
not
know
Garfield.
this because my grandfather, whenever he would come over, he would give us a $50 every single time.
Is half
They're like
dollars the
those
coin?
coins.
Oh,
Yeah,
Can we
the coin,
pay
yeah.
with a $50?
You absolutely can.
I
You
have a
absolutely can.
whole collection of them, like literally
You can
hundreds.
pay-
Okay, well, I'm robbing Leia.
You'll make about $50.
Oh, a lot of them.
who's on the $50? Yeah. is it-
Truman.
Not Truman.
Herbert.
This is some random old Tubman.
Tubman?
I said, oh
Not
my
Not a
God.
president.
I
Harriet?
said this yesterday.
Harriet Tubman?
Harriet?
No.
Rosa Parks?
Does it have to be a president?
Isn't it?
It is a president.
Oh, well, then
It's not a woman. No.
Oprah Winfrey. Oh.
It is actually the man himself, JFK,
Mm.
is on the $50.
Taft is
Really?
the one.
He
Wait,
got $50?
JFK's on the $50.
Yeah. How about this one? What were the Articles of Confederation?
Oh, something about.
I used to know something. I used to know this. I've definitely heard of the Articles of Confederation. Wasn't it it was basically the Confederate Army's like constitution when they seceded from the Union?
Are we locking that in?
I'm voting with that.
Yeah,
gonna
that
go
sounds
with
right.
Ulysses S. Grant.
What do you mean Ulysses S. Grant?
I agree with Nick.
Is he not a soldier?
He was
the general
on the
for
Union
the
side.
Union Army, where General Robert
Wrong side of
Lee
history.
was the
Okay.
general for the Confederate
Yes.
Army. I believe.
That is unfortunately not correct. This was the Articles of Confederation was the original governing doctrine of the United States. So before the Constitution, we had the Articles of Confederation, which did not work very well.
Do you happen to have any questions that are from like elementary school history and not college?
All right. The Pledge of Allegiance
Okay.
is
I know
one
this one.
of our country's most iconic verses. What are the words of the Pledge of Allegiance after
Oh.
one nation under God?
Indivisible.
Indivisible
by justice and liberty.
for all.
No.
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 Indivisible.
Let's all do it together. Ready? I pledge
Invisible.
allegiance
To the
flag
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There
Hey,
we go.
Nick, there are
There
your
we go.
three next children's names.
Liberty and justice for all.
Indivisible.
Justice.
And for all.
Liberty, justice, and for all.
Yep.
For all.
For all would be cute, actually.
Pharrell.
For all.
It's kind of like,
Huh.
Like,
yeah. Pharrell was probably named after
The pledge.
the Pledge of Allegiance.
I highly doubt it.
This is a fun one, and I believe Leia and Justin already know the answer because I said it yesterday, so this will only be for Nick and Natalie. Benjamin Franklin, not our president, wanted what bird to represent the United States instead of the bald eagle?
The turkey.
Yep.
Whoa,
There
Nick.
you go, Nick.
You didn't even give me a chance.
Fast.
What bird would you
What
have
were you
guessed?
gonna guess?
Turkey.
Oh, fair.
It makes sense. We pardon a turkey every year, right? For Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but I don't know
you?
if that's. I don't know if that's because of Ben.
What do you mean
No,
pardon
Benjamin
a
Franklin's
turkey?
legacy.
Yeah, like
We
it ma-
pardon a turkey,
because
yeah.
the part. It's a fun thing
For
that we
Thanksgiving.
do. Instead of killing the turkey, we pardon it because the president has, the ability to pardon people from prison. So they pick one turkey.
They think it's like a joke.
It's like a joke. Hey, we're not gonna. It's kind of morbid when
That's
you think
horrible.
about
Is
it.
it
Right.
a joke? I thought it I feel like it makes sense that it goes hand in
No,
hand.
they're
with that.
literally
Well, it
like,
is-
we are going to kill thousands of turkeys today.
Yes, but
this
we're gonna
one
save
turkey
this
is
one.
saved.
Yeah.
He probably dies anyways too.
Definitely, almost certainly.
All right. Today, our nation's capital is Washington, D.C., but that was not always the case. What
Philadelphia.
city was the first capital of the U.S.?
Philadelphia.
That's where the Liberty Bell is.
Can you just ask
I
me to give
agree.
the states in alphabetical order because I can do that?
Was it New York?
Philadelphia.
It's Virginia.
It was New York City, Leia.
Oh,
You got it right. Yeah.
You're good.
Hey!
Nick,
Nick, you were so
I only guessed that
I
because
was.
of the
I really
Statue of
thought it was
Liberty.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia makes
God.
sense as a Liberty Bell.
Yeah.
But the Statue of Liberty is in New York.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with that.
Does it not? What is
The Statue of Liberty came
The
from the
Statue of Liberty
French.
was a gift from the French
Yeah.
for winning the revolutionary, for basically winning our independence from England, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking
well, then what
of-
was the Liberty Bell?
People don't give gifts like that nowadays, you know?
I know.
And
They
statue.
really
Wait.
don't.
Like a full-on they're just giving us wax statues that are melting.
Isn't
I know,
there
right?
isn't there a replica? Isn't there like a similar statue?
Yes, there
In
is
France?
another
Yes.
Statue of Liberty in France.
Why don't we ever see pictures of that? Why don't we ever see American tourists? I've literally never seen a picture of the Statue of France or whatever it is. Is it called the Statue of Liberty? Does it have a different name? Why don't we ever see pictures of it?
I mean, this is the first
why
time
isn't it
even
an
hearing.
American tourist
exists.
attraction or just any type of tourist? I literally it seems to be a fictional thing that I always isn't this thing a thing? And everyone's like, yes, but we've never seen pictures of it. Is it real? Is this
It's
a landing on the moon
a
situation?
quarter scale replica. Sits on the southern end of Paris, an artificial island
see
in
it.
Paris. So it's small. That's why no one really cares.
You know what else there are two of? You know the big Jesus in
Rio.
in
Rio.
Rio?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are
Christ
two of those.
In Rio?
No, and one of them
Oh,
is in somewhere else.
I saw a guy with that on his necklace.
What is it called? Why am I blanking?
Christ the Redeemer.
Christ the
Yeah.
Redeemer.
It's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Wait,
Whatever.
speaking of the revolution, did you guys have it in elementary school where you had to reenact the revolution?
Not
No.
me.
Because we had to do it, and I was a colonial person that got shot in the revolution. So I had to like fake out this whole like death scene.
Okay,
Wow.
But like,
man.
right?
Oh my god.
No, but we had like
Proper
George
pussy.
Washington, we had redcoats, we had everything.
I feel like I played Betsy Ross.
I just
in
always
something.
remember learning that if the French won the French and Indian War, we would be a nation speaking
Right.
French.
We'd be a
I don't know
lot
if that's
sexier.
accurate. I just remember learning that. It's like something our teachers would tell us. Like, is this like, did you know? And I remember thinking that was really interesting.
We?
Is the next question the states in alphabetical order? Because I can do that.
Can you do that? Can we see?
What's the capital of Arkansas?
Do it. Wait, do it.
Sing it.
Yeah, do it.
I don't know the capitals.
No. Do the states in
States in
alphabetical order.
yeah.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, India, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts. Oh my God. You know,
Oh,
it's just like
no.
one of those things that you just like never get out of your head.
Wait, you didn't finish.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You did
because
half
I know,
of it.
because it kind of got dead silent.
You
and it was just
conveniently
listening.
stopped
and I
right
just,
No,
it
please
just,
keep.
no,
you're
it
at
just felt
Massachusetts.
it just felt uncomfortable
You're at
at that point,
Massachusetts.
and I
Please
just
continue.
I
We were rocking.
Nebraska.
What's our next question?
How about this one? All right. In U.S. history, sometimes regular civilians can have their names etched in history. With that in mind, who was Crispus Attucks?
No idea.
No, Natalie?
You think I know that?
Just checking. I don't want to assume.
I thought that he was the creator of the Crispix cereal.
No.
Ooh.
Crispus Attucks.
Good guess.
Crispus Attucks actually was the first American to die in the Revolutionary War during the Boston
Rest
Massacre.
his soul.
That was me
That was
In
you. You were
elementary school.
Crispus Attucks?
in elementary school.
Oh, so you
How
were
do we know
Crispus
for sure?
Attucks.
Not actually, but
How do we know he was the first?
I wasn't there, but it has been immortalized in history. There was actually a very famous newspaper illustration that came out that was used as a rallying cry of basically the image of when Crispus was killed by the Redcoats. And that
Why
was
hasn't that name come back? Crispus.
I
That's
feel
what
like
I'm
he's
saying.
not
Crispus
getting the
is a
credit he
good name.
deserves. Yeah, like he's not exactly like it's a question no one knows the answer to, but except for Zach.
yeah.
By the way,
Dick.
we talked about baby names
I'm keeping
last
him
week.
alive.
We talked about baby names last week. Why don't we like go back in the history books?
Crispus.
Like what I'm interested in with U.S. history is like cool names to bring back.
in the 1700s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we have
Crispix. Is it
Paul
Crispus?
Revere still
Crispus
going
or
on.
Crispix?
Crispix.
Crispus.
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 His
Crispus.
nickname's Piss. I know that one. Why
Chris.
that one died.
His name is Chris.
Well, his nickname, and he would have been bullied, and people would call him Piss.
or
I don't think
crispy.
they knew what piss was back then.
I'm just saying, if we brought Crispus back
Today.
and someone named their kid Crispus,
Yeah.
he would be bullied.
Because he has
We
we
piss
should
in
give
his
that name to Francesca
Crispus
Fargo.
Piss. Crispus
She would-
Piss.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
drinks his own piss. Crispus Piss.
How dare
Were you
you?
a
This
bully?
is a man who died for our country.
For our country. Were you a bully in school?
Yes.
No,
Were you
Absolutely
bullied
not.
in school?
Were,
of course.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Middle
bullied-
school.
They
I
bullied
got
your name?
my tough year was 7th grade. I got bullied in 7th.
Did anybody ever put your head in a toilet?
No.
They
Did
don't
that
do-
actually happen?
I don't think they does it?
Did
Because
they
they
I think
put
that
you on
happened in
trash
like the
cans, too.
60s.
Did they ever take your lunch money?
No. They took your lunch money?
No, they just threw photos of me all over the school and called me a terrible name.
Oh.
And look at them now.
Yeah. Look at him now.
R.I.P.
This is a question that I really, really believe you guys can get right.
Uh-oh.
There has only been one president named Rutherford. In contrast,
Okay.
which name has been president the most?
Andrew.
Roosevelt.
Bush twice. Roosevelt twice.
Kennedy.
I'm talking first name, to be clear.
Oh, that's
Oh.
good clarification.
George.
John.
George.
Paul.
John probably is up
I
there.
don't
there
think
any
there's
Pauls?
been a single
I was
president
about to
named
say, who's
Paul.
John?
Who's
John
John?
F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy.
There's
Yeah.
gotta be. I'm just guessing.
George.
Henry.
Henry.
Who's Henry?
I'm gonna just
Henry
go with
Todd?
George because I know 3.
You're gonna go with
sure.
George.
Wait, hold on. Oh, because George Bush.
Senior.
George Clinton.
Barack.
I'm gonna stick
Well,
with Andrew.
George
actually.
Clinton is a reggae
Oh.
music star,
Oh.
musician.
Wait,
Andrew
Who's
Johnson,
the
Andrew
Clinton?
Jackson.
Bill,
Bill.
Andrew.
Donald.
All right, so what did we settle on? What's the final answer?
George.
I'm gonna go George.
All right. It is not George, unfortunately. The correct answer, which I don't think anyone said, is James.
James Madison, James.
There's been
James Bond.
There's been 5 Johns is number 2. There have been 6 Jameses. James Madison, James Monroe, James K. Polk, James Buchanan,
Forgot about that.
James Garfield, and James, aka Jimmy Carter.
All right. Anyways,
I'm very proud of you
congratulations,
guys.
everyone. You did a great job. We crushed it.
Happy 4th of
USA.
July.
I think we all got.
I think I'll make the questions next time.
I think we all got one answer right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But only one of us knows the 50 states in order, and
That's
that's
true.
Natalie.
Period.
I know all the
Alright.
capitals, but I won't do it. No.
Well, speaking of presidents, Abraham Lincoln wax statue melts in Washington, D.C. after recent heat wave above 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, let's get into some
Why is-
household headlines.
Why is this news?
What do you mean?
Why is there a statue of
Well,
Abraham
how long
Lincoln?
is a statue? Like, it's a wax statue. I
Yeah.
feel like ice sculpture melts in the sun. Like,
Duh.
you know,
That's literally what happened. It's a
this
wax.
is like that's the headline. I mean,
Like, was there a wick on top? Like, were we lighting? Is it
was
candle?
it a
Like,
special
why are
wax
we-
that wasn't supposed to melt in the heat? Like, how long has it been out there?
But also, like, I get it, Abe. Like, I understand. You know, I would want to melt in this heat too.
It says that it stood outside the Garrison Elementary School since February. So, I mean, the winter,
Oh,
it held
hasn't
up.
been there long.
But they must have anticipated this melt. Did they time it for the 4th of July? It's like, oh, and like the
Ooh,
hottest
it's a little
part.
morbid.
I think it was
I
more
don't
of like
know.
an artwork, but not good planning on their end.
It really sucks for the person who made this sculpture.
And this is at an elementary school?
Yeah, it's in front of an elementary school. And
Do you think the
way
kids are losing their heads? You know, it's like, his head's melting.
the way that it
ah."
melted was very unfortunate looking. It looks like he's about to receive head. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know.
Oh, his head,
Is it just me?
his head fell.
His
fell
head did
back.
Well, his head did eventually
Yeah.
melt off, but
He's in
before
a very
his
relaxed
head,
state.
before
Yeah.
his head melted off, it looked like he was in a position
Receiving
to receive
head.
it. Yeah.
Do you think presidents enjoyed getting oral sex? But when do you think oral sex became like mainstream? You know,
I-
like was it always part of like the bedroom repertoire? Like,
always
I'm curious.
wonder
Can we
these
Google that?
things.
When did foreplay become a thing?
Right. Like when did they move on from like we need to procreate to we need to enjoy this too?
So oral sex became popular in the 1920s.
No
And
way.
then-
It took that long.
Wow.
It said there's surveys which
Popular. No one said it was invented.
there was a big jump in oral sex rights about the time when the baby boomers started hooking up. 1920s.
Baby boomers, but people were for sure doing it before.
Yeah, so it was just popular in the 1920s.
That's when they were talking about it with the
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before it was.
Have you tried this? This where
Sticking it in
you
the
She
mouth.
puts it on
she
her
puts her
mouth.
head in the
Right. Like I,
feel
wonder
like
how
the
people
Romans.
discovered it.
I feel like the Romans were doing it.
Oh, for sure it's historical. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you see like old movies and they're doing oral sex.
I mean, I studied art history and there's like oral copulation displayed on indigenous pots. So
There
we
you
weren't
go.
the first.
I do wonder though who was the first person to be like, oh, maybe put your mouth on my
We should talk about this.
penis
Like,
and
tell the girlies.
yeah, and
Tell your friends.
wow,
yeah.
that we should make this a thing.
Do you think it's someone
Like,
who had like
Barb.
do you think someone had a vision from God that was like,
No. And why was the first woman like, okay? You know, why was she like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let me do that for you.
We
Why was
don't-
she not like, you know?
we don't know it was a woman?
Which one do
I'm
we think went
good.
first though? Because it could
No.
have been either way. Definitely the man got it first.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
Yeah.
They still haven't figured out doing it for the woman.
They're still
so,
learning.
yeah.
We're still working on that one.
one. No. I said they, as like they out there, not
I feel like you're
us.
really calling me out here. I feel like you need to clarify yourself.
No, not us. I'm talking about them.
Okay.
Others. They, yeah.
Mm.
They have not figured it out.
You know how they
Why
say
would-
like if you could meet one dead person, that's the dead person.
I just want to ask her a couple questions of just like, you know, why and like, how was it? And like, why, you know,
Going deeper. Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Right.
Going
Literally-
deeper.
literally,
It's a going
yeah.
deeper episode.
About
And I
going
would like
deeper.
to interview her about why she went deeper. Ooh.
Well, on a separate note, LeBron James and son Bonny are set to make history as the first ever father-son duo to play together in the NBA. The Lakers just selected Bonny with the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA draft.
Honestly, that's fun.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, I feel like
That'll be really fun to watch, I think.
Really curious how well he does. Bronny, it seems like there's only 2 rounds in the NBA draft. So getting picked 55th out of what, 60? How many picks are in the NBA draft? 64, 60, something like that. Yeah, we'll see.
I think it'll be really fun to like watch and root for. I know like the videos of him coaching his sons have gone very viral, and like people love to see just him in like a coaching dad realm. And so I think it'll be really cool to watch him as like teammate, father, coach, everything.
Question, will the new coach, JJ Redick of Los Angeles Lakers, put him in? You know?
Ooh, he could be sidelined, yeah.
There's a lot going on with the
Lakers.
Lakers.
They would not sideline LeBron James' son.
Well, he's not going to play like a lot. He's a rookie. He's probably not going to be very good.
I don't know. We'll see. When does he start playing?
Well, he just got drafted, so he'll join the G League, which is like where all the leagues.
He's got to work his way up to A.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't think. Well, there's only. Yeah, I don't. There's just the G League.
There's just the G League and the NBA. But I think LeBron has like been waiting to retire until he played with his son.
Oh, so he wanted to make history.
That's cool.
Well, I assume I'm gonna predict that he's going to retire after like he does a season with his son. He's old. Like
that's cool
to still be playing. Like he's not old, but like to still be playing basketball.
Here's a quiz.
Would you want to
name a father-son duo that played together in a different league?
I knew this.
Very good player. At least one of them was great.
I don't know.
Oh, I know a lot of brothers.
I'll give you the sport. It's baseball. Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr., they both played together for the Seattle Mariners.
Ken Griffey Jr. was really good, right?
Interesting.
He was awesome.
His
dad was pretty good too.
Would you want to play with me in like a professional sport?
Absolutely. Babe, I'd love to play professional sports. With
or without me.
With or without you. And even better, are we both professional athletes? Let's get that coin.
Which sport would be your sport?
Yeah, Natalie, what sport are you playing with Nick?
Basketball for sure.
Okay.
I was a baller back in the day. Golf.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about like the most amount of money with the like you can do it the longest. You can make the most amount of money. It's the easiest on your body. Also baseball too. You make a ton of money, guaranteed contracts. I'm just being pragmatic.
I have a plan for my son to be a football kicker.
Well, if you're gonna do that, just have him be a punter.
What does the punter
do?
Do?
The same thing.
Well, the kicker,
you punt it in the beginning, you kick it at the end.
The kicker just comes in, doesn't have to get
money,
hurt.
But there's way more stress. Kickers have to kick it. Field goals. They have to kick game-winning field goals and things like that. Punter just fucking punts the ball.
They start the game.
People hate the kicker sometimes.
But could the punter
Punter's
get tackled?
absolutely zero stress. Well, I wouldn't say zero, but very minimal. And if you're good, you can play for like a decade. You know.
But could you get tackled as a punter?
You could. Rarely happens.
No.
You more often as a kicker. Kicker. Well, they've changed the rules on the kickoff, but the kicker does kick the ball on the kickoff and is sometimes part of the tackle. They're often the last line of defense. So. There's definitely been some highlights of some kickers getting fucking clobbered. Technically, even punters can. You're not supposed to run into the kicker when you punt, which is weird because when you punt, if they were to run into the punter, the penalty is running into the kicker, which is kind of weird.
I don't care.
So Nick would be a professional golfer. Natalie would be a basketball player.
We'd have to be in the same thing. So I got to golf too because like whatever.
Maybe like frisbee golf. Because that's kind of like in the middle.
You golfed too. Your dad was a big golfer.
Listen, my dad was a professional golfer.
Whoa.
Did not know that.
He was. He was at some point in his life, he was the 11th longest drive hitter in the world.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Pop off, Dad. Pop your pussy.
Long drive.
Long drive.
Headline, wife accused of spiking husband's Mountain Dew with weed killer told the cop she should have just divorced him. So basically, Michelle said she was mad at her husband because she had thrown him a 50th birthday party and he was not appreciative.
So she killed him?
No.
Did he die?
She just poisoned his Mountain Dew. He's alive.
But was her intention for him to die from the weed killer?
How did she get caught?
So she got caught because the husband, so he said, he ignored the strange taste of the soda and continued to drink it. But after a couple of weeks, he started feeling sick. He told the police. He said he had a sore throat, coughed up mucus, and was vomiting. And then on June 12th, he said he reviewed video footage of the garage, allegedly showed his wife taking 2-liter bottles of Diet Mountain Dew out of the refrigerator, grabbing the Roundup, and then placing the soda back in the refrigerator, to which he drank.
Where did he find this video footage? You know how like people have video footage of like inside their houses? Does anybody have like a camera?
Yeah, there's
I mean,
a
does
camera
anyone?
looking at us right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
our parents do,
Well,
weirdly
yeah.
enough. Why? I
Scrub
don't
through.
know.
I think because if people were to ever break in, there's footage of like what they're doing in your home. You don't want just like a blind eye of like, well, they went in, but like don't know what they did.
Can you imagine though seeing your wife poison your Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
Also,
That'd be-
she knew the camera was there.
No, why did he ignore the strange taste of a Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
That's your
why
first.
keep-
Why keep drinking? The
No.
second I taste something's a little funky, I'm done. It's like with chicken, you
Pour
know.
it
The
out.
second I see a vein or like a rubbery piece,
Throw
I'm
it
done.
away.
I don't want any of it.
So basically, it's his fault. He should have been arrested. The cops should have.
He should have been
him
arrested for
stu-
continuously
for
drinking
stupidity.
his
Yeah,
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
also,
Is she
They
gonna?
should get a
What's
divorce.
what is she? What's the crime here? Attempted murder.
So she's being charged with first-degree domestic assault and armed criminal action after this alleged accusation. So it hasn't been
Is he
proven yet.
divorcing her?
I
We don't know
mean,
yet.
how
She's
do
saying
you
that
recover
she's-
from that?
She's saying that she wished she just divorced him.
Imagine showing up to couples therapy and the therapist is like, okay, so like what's going on? It's like, he tried to kill me with a weed killer. She tried to kill
For
me
not
with weed.
appreciating
My birthday.
my birthday party. I could be accused of not showing the most enthusiasm for anything.
Period.
No, sometimes you're really good, but sometimes you are like, that's nice. Like, period.
Turns my life's on the line.
Yeah, Nick,
Yeah,
if,
it turns
if your
out.
Mountain Dew ever tastes weird, stop drinking
Have
it.
you ever wanted to kill someone for not feeling appreciated?
When was the last time
Kill.
anyone's had a Mountain Dew?
Been a while.
I feel like that's more of an important
That's been a
conversation.
while.
Mountain Dew is
I've
a
had a
suspicious
Mountain
drink.
Mountain Dew already is like crack. So if anyone is
But there are
drinking a
people
Mountain
out
Dew-
there who drink it.
My brother used to drink Mountain Dew.
My
like,
mom loves
times
Mountain
a
Dew.
day.
She swears by it, but the fact that that liquid's green,
Mountain
And
Dew
bubbly?
is gnarly.
No.
Yellow
Very.
5, yeah. Yellow 5, not good for you.
There's yellow 5 in so many things, though.
do you think yellow 5 increases the chances of twins?
Oh my God.
And I say this because 23 sets of twins graduated from a single Massachusetts middle class, making up 10% of the 8th grade class.
How is that possible?
23 sets. That's insane.
That's
Well,
pretty cool.
'cause
How
to
big is the
have
school?
Twins naturally.
Well, 23
Listen,
sets.
Nick and I thought we were going to have twins when I was pregnant for
Really?
the first couple. Yeah. I think only really because his sister talked to a psychic and she said that the brother closest to him was going to have twins.
And Natalie just decided that I think I'm having twins.
No,
We
remember
never
because I
thought
was
we had.
No, because remember I was super sick and you're like, I think because you're so sick, you're like double
Oh.
sick. So what if you're like double
double
sick
homicide.
because you have
I don't remember that conversation, but
Well, I don't forget anything.
that's true.
So,
That's
It does
true.
say, according to
Yeah.
the National Center of Health Statistics, twins account for 3% of births in the U.S. So the fact that
Wow.
there's
And this is-
23 sets at this one school,
And this was 10% of the class.
10% of the class,
That's a huge variance.
something in the
I'm
water.
No, I'm no statistician, but
that's incredibly trippy. I wonder if they're all identical.
You know what's so crazy about identical twins is that if two sets of identical twins have a kid with each other, their kids will be genetically siblings.
What?
So, like, if two sets of identical twins
yeah.
had children with each other, their
So like
kids.
incest.
No,
What do you
no,
mean with
not
each other?
incest.
No,
Because,
no.
like,
The two
let's say there's
So
a
separate-
let's
set
say
of.
Justin and Leia are identical twins. And
Yeah, we
we're
basically
identical
are.
twins.
Mhm.
And then Justin and I get married, and then you two get
We
married.
have kids.
And we have a child, and we both have children. You're saying
Our
they will be
children will be.
our
Yeah.
the same.
genetically siblings.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
My sister has twins and they are basic
Wow.
there's a lot of science behind it, but they basically have the exact same fingerprint.
Are they identical?
Yes, they are identical.
Wow.
Is that true for all identical twins having the
No.
same fingerprint?
They like separated really, really late. Like they were almost conjoined.
Whoa.
So they like share a lot of the like same
Whoa.
stuff.
That's
Crazy,
crazy.
yeah.
My siblings are fraternal twins, and one's a boy and one's a girl. And my brother was in the hospital one time, and his nurse came in, and she was like, "Oh," they were talking about how he was a twin, and he's like, "Yeah, I have a twin sister." And the nurse, who's putting a needle into his arm, is like, "Oh, are you identical?"
The boy and girl.
Mm.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Who said that
That's all.
recently on TV?
Chris said it on Perfect Match.
Perfect match.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
you know what they call a nurse who graduates last in her class?
A nurse.
A nurse.
Still a nurse, though.
Yeah.
Well, oldest man in U.S. dies at 110 after walking daily. Scientists believe this is the oldest cognitively healthy brain that has ever been donated, and he ate largely vegetarian meals, rarely drank alcohol, stayed active, and was constantly learning in addition to walking 3 miles a day. 110.
Like down for all of it besides walking 3 miles a day.
Yeah, but listen, I know somebody who smoked so many cigarettes, drinks Diet Coke every day, doesn't move, and she's 100.
Good for her.
Not 110.
True. We'll see.
Who is this?
Still
now?
alive. My friend's grandmother.
Is she kicking? Is she like alive and well? Is she like cognitive?
She's still
Is she-
spunky. Yeah.
She's still
Wow.
spunky.
Still
Good for her.
spunky.
She's still smoking?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Why stop at this point?
Honestly.
Right.
I never-
It's like that's
What a life.
what I tell
just
myself.
To like, to
whenever
like
I-
just look death in the face for all these years while everyone's telling you, this is going to kill you. This is going to kill you. She's like, I don't care.
She might as well double it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just cranking.
I saw this video of this woman was doing an interview because she lived like old and she drinks like 1 Coke a day. And basically she said, my doctor said eat an apple a day. I outlived him. Because he
Oh.
told her to stop drinking Coke and she just kept drinking Coke.
I mean, genetics are kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, for me to stop drinking Coffee Mate or French International Delight coffee creamer in my coffee every morning, it would have to take a doctor looking me in my face and being like, you will die tomorrow if you have another sip.
You did drastically reduce it
Well, I was pregnant.
while you were pregnant.
I did.
Was
Now
there
I'm back.
anything that when you were pregnant, right, that you just like went right back to after? It's like you cut it out for so long and you were so
I
good,
cut
and then
out,
you're like, fuck it.
I did really good with Diet Coke. Really, like all sodas. Like I would have Sprite every now and then.
Allegedly, I read somewhere
Coke.
that aspartame, which is common in diet drinks, is linked to causes of autism.
I read that
My
too.
My brother sent me
Allegedly.
that. My
No,
brother
I
sent
haven't had a sip of Diet Coke because of that.
that. Yeah. See, I mean, I would have like the mini ones like once every blue moon, but yeah, I went right back to that and the coffee creamer.
And I believe it's heavy consumption,
Yeah.
but everything in moderation.
Listen, I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I don't do
Good
moderation.
practice.
Wait. I want to know though, would
Consider
you want to live to 110?
Duh.
I think so, yeah.
I wanna live forever.
I just want to make it to 100. You can knock me out after. I just want to hit that goal.
I don't want
I
to.
bet when you reach 100, you won't feel that way if you're still
Maybe.
with it.
Yeah.
To me, it just depends if the rest of my crew is around.
Well, your kid will be.
Maybe.
That's true.
You could just be one of those like older women that take like
Maybe.
Pilates classes.
Well, if you're
Well, what-
100,
75, How old are you, Leia?
how old am I? 29.
Okay. 71.
That's pretty young.
Yeah, her kid will still be alive.
Should be.
Should
Okay.
be.
This is getting dark.
Let's hope.
Well, last household headline, Heinz unveils a new condiment called Every Sauce, a bottled mixture of 14 of its most beloved sauces. And before we get
Listen,
into
I'll
it,
just about eat any sauce on the market, but
Not
this
this
just
one.
looks
no,
disgusting.
this one is a mix of
It's-
burger sauce, garlic sauce, aioli sauce, smoky baconaise, sweet chili, chip sauce, saucy sauce, mayo racha, mayo must, truffle mayo, garlic and caramelized onion maui, curry ketchup,
the ones you
pickle
like.
ketchup, and smoky bacon ketchup.
You might as well throw in like bleach
Right.
and it's not even sauces. It would make sense, which I guess they've already done with their mayo sriracha or whatever the fuck. But
Keep it
like
at 2.
I made my special sauce the other night and it's absolutely delicious. And I feel like it's kind of like a special sauce, which I'm sure they have too.
What do you
Anyways,
mix?
It's mayo, sweet chili sauce, honey, sriracha, and like I put Cholula because I don't like sriracha is a little too spicy for me, so I do like a dab of sriracha just to get the color right, and then mostly Cholula.
Okay, I
But
see
it's
it.
like it's really good.
Sounds
but
like
this
a spicy mayo with
s-
honey.
whatever the
Every
hell they are
sauce?
concocting just sounds
I
like
just want to know
death.
who thought of this. Who was
You're
like,
not
let's
making it
throw
to
14 in here.
110.
There you
Someone
go.
at Heinz, yeah.
Natalie, I hear you put sauce on a lot of things.
I
She's
put
a
sauce on
girl.
everything. Yeah,
She's a sauce girl.
I'm
yeah.
so
I put
not a
ranch
sauce.
on tacos, on spaghetti, on pizza, on. It's honestly kind of disgusting.
Ranch on tacos.
Ranch on pizza.
Pizza makes sense.
What?
Pizza makes
That's
sense.
the most like common thing.
Yeah,
Tacos, I don't
it's
know about that one.
Yeah, a lot of people do it.
I put ketchup on my pizza.
You
What?
put ketchup on your
Ketchup is
pizza?
disgusting.
Yeah.
That is foul.
That is
Well, you're
foul.
trying to come at me for ranch?
Well, you basically already have tomato sauce on your pizza.
That's
I
not
don't
tomato.
care.
Ketchup is not
You,
tomato.
do you put ketchup on your spaghetti?
Yes. If it's plain,
She's a ketchup kid.
You're
I'm
a
a
ketchup
ketchup
kid.
kid. I guess so.
Were
I don't
you
know.
were you the kid who put ketchup on everything?
No, like ate it with your fingers.
I would eat ketchup with my fingers.
Do you like
That's
tomatoes?
disgusting.
No.
Because
Hate 'em.
this is a thing where people like ketchup, but they don't like real tomatoes, and like vice versa. So I like tomatoes, but I hate ketchup.
I only have ketchup with French fries.
Y'all have to grow up.
Only. I won't put ketchup on anything other than, and I don't need it with my French fries, but I will have it with my French fries.
Yeah, Nick, you don't like sauce.
I like some sauces.
He loves horseradish.
Cholula sauce, cocktail sauce.
Horseradish.
Cocktail
Yeah,
sauce is
cocktail
good.
sauce. Yeah, he'll make for shrimp.
Well, ketchup and horseradish and a little bit of lemon make cocktail sauce, which is the best.
Is that what that is? That's what cocktail sauce is?
Cocktail sauce is ketchup, horseradish, and a little bit of
I
lemon.
didn't know that.
That's all it is.
Jumping into Summer House, Paige Desorbo's captioned an Insta post, ciao, amidst Danielle Oliveira leaving the show. Do we think this is in response to Danielle?
She's
No.
in
No, she's
Italy.
she's in Italy.
But she posted ciao. Out of all Italian words, she said ciao when Danielle
is like
announced
the
her.
Ciao
most
is like the most
common.
common. It's hello and goodbye. It's just like ciao.
She
Ciao,
could have been saying
Bella.
hello, Danielle.
Yeah.
You're the one reading into it and making it seem like it's goodbye.
She literally could be saying hello.
I think it's a goodbye. Like, what are the odds out of the whole Italian language? I get it's a common word that she said ciao on that
What
day.
other word would she have used that people would have been like, oh, cute?
Either way,
Yeah, say a few
she-
more Italian words for me.
Yeah.
Pizzeria.
you don't know any, but you know ciao, ciao, ciao. It's
Pizza.
like
She's been in Italy for like however long. So on that one day, she decided to post that one photo and say ciao.
I think this is people reaching. I think this is people being extremely bored and they're like, what can we read into and like make something that it's not? Oh, Paige Desorbo making a caption in Italy with an Italian word and like make it link to something that it's probably not.
Okay. I rest my case.
That's my take. Love ya.
Ciao.
Well, Kenya Moore is officially not returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Basically, sources said Kenya will not return as a cast member for the rest of the production for the new season. Kenya has not been fired from Atlanta. Instead, we're told both sides have agreed she's going to take a break from the show for now. Then Candy responded on a live saying, I have never known her to make up anything about anybody. If things are out there about you when you join a reality show, unfortunately, people are able to bring things up what you've done. I just feel like, well, dang, there isn't anything else we could have done. It's an end of an era.
I'm really confused by this story. Isn't there physical hard evidence floating on the internet of said accusation?
At least for us to see, there's recordings of Kenya speaking bad about Brittany Edie, and then there's photos that you can see briefly, like a border of an image covered. So we don't know that it hasn't been confirmed to the public that she displayed it. We just know that it was there. And Kenya has been speaking out saying that all the truth hasn't been shared. Her side hasn't been shared. So we don't know exactly yet. But we know that
could
she's
her
talking
side
about-
be? Like, seriously, what could it be?
I don't
You're her
know.
lawyer.
Maybe it's like she obviously had something against Brittany Edie, the new housewife, but then like one of her friends that showed up to the event decided to bring that and was like, and then she was like, oh my God, this is here. This isn't my stuff.
I
So
don't
she
know.
didn't display the revenge porn. She just happened to facilitate.
This sounds like sounds like a story where like an athlete, gets pulled over and quickly like has their friend switch seats in the car to take the blame for the
blame,
DUI
yeah.
they're about to get. It screams that.
Yeah. I mean, she posted a
does.
story saying you can try to destroy a legacy, but you will never destroy a queen. So she's kind of like on this whole, like, my truth hasn't been shared. This is like a way of the housewives or the public to like scapegoat me.
Well, I mean, either she did it or she didn't. I mean,
Well, she
You
said
know.
originally she would never distribute revenge porn. So she said that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if somebody else was distributing it at her event, like, I don't.
Yeah. Which we don't know that. That's just like a possibility that I could think of. But I will say the housewives world right now is like insane. Because even in New Jersey territory. So we watched this most recent episode where Danielle smacks the glass in Jennifer Aydin's face, basically. She came out and now she's responding to that episode and saying, we sat back in the silence as lies spread like wildfire, hit after hit, lie after lie. Violence is never the answer. However, in all fairness, I did say the last person you want to mess with, it's me. Trust me when I tell you, Tulum was the tip of the iceberg. So she's insinuating that she warned Jennifer Aydin that I'm the wrong person to mess with, which validates her, Jennifer Aydin, in the face, and that there's more to come.
Has anybody here ever had a drink thrown in their face or threw a drink in someone else's face?
no.
No.
I think I probably did in like my bartender days. I love to like kick people out, or like if drunk people are scary and like get in your face and don't care. And I think I was like making some guy a drink and he said a nasty comment and I just went,
Wait, I'm confused. What's going on with the housewives in here? Like,
So this is her like,
saying there's a lot more.
Okay.
and that
There's more physical violence.
perhaps, and she's saying that, I mean, I told you not to mess with me, so I had all fairness to slap a drink in your face.
I guess if you tell someone not to mess with you, that's like the Ricky Bobby with all due respect. It's like, well, I said with all due respect, so now I can say
No, it's
whatever I
like
want
people
to your
saying
face.
no offense. It's like no offense, but I don't love that shirt.
Yeah. Or
like-
don't mess with me. And as long as you say don't mess with me, apparently you can do whatever you want afterwards if someone messes with you. Like,
Well, I mean, if you devil's advocate for Danielle, if you're saying like don't mess with me, and then you push me, like, do I have the right to then punch you back?
well, I think, that's a different argument. Do you have the right to defend yourself?
Right.
Sure. If you get smacked, you can smack them back, Then there's the argument like, is a push worth a punch?
Right.
I kind of felt like in that scenario, it was an aggressive push, or a smack. I kind of was Team Danielle, But I don't think saying, well, I warned you, don't mess with me, is an excuse to kind of do whatever you want after that.
No, it's not. It's literally like, it's like our argument with West, where it's like, just because you say that you're a fuckboy doesn't mean that you get
It's
to be
okay
a fuckboy.
to be a fuckboy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to me, a fuckboy is just someone who wants to have non-committed sex. To me, all it takes to be a fuckboy is that someone likes you more than you like them and you're participating in sex. And by default, you're their fuckboy. Again, we're getting like, to me, player's worse, right? To me, player is the person who lies and like promises you things and pretends they want to be in a relationship with you, et cetera, et cetera. The emotional terrorist, to me, the fuckboy is like everyone, men, women, it's just like everyone who's just like hooking up. And that's when feelings get complicated. And then that one person's like, I like you. And the other person's like, well, I don't really want to. And like, that you're kind of a fuckboy because you just like to fuck. That's just my definition, So yeah. And I think women can be fuckboys. I think men can be fuckboys. And I think sometimes you can be labeled a fuckboy by someone and you can be their fuckboy and you can still have been honest. Yeah. I don't think it's a matter of like when Wes is like, well, I'm a fuckboy, yeah, I actually do think that's fine. If someone's like, hey, I'm not big into commitments. I'm not big into dating. I'm not big into like growing a relationship. I just fuck around.
So it's either like fuckboy or there isn't like, you can't just be having sex with people. You're a fuckboy or a fuck girl or whatever.
I mean, that's the thing because like sex, I don't care who you are. Women seem to be more connected through sex, but men have feelings too, and men can have sex with people, and sex is a powerful thing. And sometimes we like to act like we're not going to be affected by sex, have the sex, and then find out we are affected by the sex emotionally. And so if you're two people hooking up and having sex and you don't know each other very well, and you've known each other for a month, feelings tend to get hurt when one person just says, yeah, I mean, listen, my feelings haven't changed. Where the other person's like, I think I like you more than I realize.
But I think that fuckboys aren't saying, hey, I'm a fuckboy. Like, listen, I fuck around a lot. So
actually,
like,
I think most of them are. I think most of them, I think there's a lot of Wests out there. How many times you're out there and you meet someone and they're like, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I'm not looking for commitment or some version of that. And the person's like, yeah, okay, well, I guess I just want something chill too, I don't want anything serious either, whether they mean it or they just lie to themselves, like that girl who on Ask Nick, wanted to hook up with the hockey player and, got out of the relationship and was convincing us that like she just doesn't want anything serious with this guy, and it's like, how often does that end up not being true? So yeah, no, I think if you're a fuckboy and you're honest about being a fuckboy,
that's definitely your take on it, for sure.
Yeah.
I guess how can a fuckboy like what should a fuckboy do differently?
Not play people.
Well, that's a player.
Well, I think also there's like a limit at a certain point where it's like you can say, oh, I'm not interested in commitment. I don't want a relationship. But then at a certain point, then the relationship needs to end.
Whose responsibility is to end it? give me a scenario where the fuckboy who is open about being the fuckboy could or should do something differently, where it ends up still being the fuckboy's fault. I think if a fuckboy is being honest about being a fuckboy, then they can be a fuckboy.
You know what this reminds me of a little bit? Did anybody ever have like Formspring?
Formspring?
Yeah, never mind.
Never heard of that.
It was like this anonymous website where you could post like any comment you wanted. And it was going around when I was in high school. And you were completely anonymous. So you could say whatever you wanted. And everybody would talk shit about everybody on Formspring because it was anonymous.
In your high school?
Well, no, but it was just like people at my high school.
So we had this. I forgot what it was called, but you had
Ask FM.
You had to have a school email in order to join like that community. And to
I know
comment
what
on
you're
people.
talking about. Yeah, similar. It was crazy though, because then there was like a rumor that they were going to uncover all the anonymous posts and it was going to be people's names. And like I posted shit on there, not mean stuff, but like I posted stuff about myself, like Leia's so hot.
See, that's what we need to do.
Like,
that's what we need to do.
That's charming. Yeah.
No,
funny.
But people wrote like mean stuff.
Yeah. Like, well, I don't know why anonymous forums are allowed. People seem to have to put their names behind it.
Yeah, if you're gonna talk shit, just fucking talk shit and say it with your face. Yeah, say it with your fucking chest. Like, why are we hiding?
This
why
is
are we like
bowling?
Like, oh, I have this opinion, but like I'm too scared to say it. I don't want to get fired from my job. I don't want to like people to like know that I'm like married with children and like I'm talking shit about someone else who's like has children. Like, it's like, babe, just say it. If that's how you feel, just say it.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Even then, it's like, I guess, like for reviews, like say, why are we hiding from that? You know, like I want to trust that you're a real person saying that this Swiffer isn't as good as I think it is on Amazon, but I can't trust you because your name is like Plant123.
Unless they upload a photo or a video of them using it, not real.
Not real.
Yep.
Your reviews are tough. I definitely like have my name on my like food Yelp is whatever, I think it's Yelp or Google reviews.
Yeah.
And my name is there and like I'll write a review the way I feel and it says Leia.
You know what's always cool is when like there's a Yelp review that's bad and then the person claps back, the owner of the business, and they're like, you never came here. Or they're like, you were smelly, came in here and was screaming at everybody and then left.
You were smelly.
Yeah.
You were
Does that happen?
It happens all the time, especially with Yelp because it's like restaurants. So if someone comes in and they like wanted to like get a food comped but then didn't, then they'll like comment something but they'll like dramatize it and then the owner will be like, you never came. Or like for hair salons that happens where they're like, so and so butchered my hair and they're like, we don't have an appointment under your name.
No, reviews can like fully be used as blackmail. Like if you want something comped or whatever, you could just be like, this food sucked, and then the owner will be like, oh my god, how can we make this right?
The owners are smart though, because they'll know like based off of Yelp if you came or not.
Or if you came, ate your whole, it's like when you eat your whole meal, but then you're like, excuse me, there was like a hair in this. Could you get it taken off the bill? It's like, well, you did eat the whole thing. So
looks like,
One time I worked at this, I was a server at this restaurant. I will not say the name. And I gave someone their meal and there was a screw in their burger. And they were like, ma'am, like, excuse me, there's something in my burger, and showed it to me. I was like, that is indeed a screw. I'm very, very sorry. And I took it back. It had like fallen from like one of our like shelves or something into the like hamburger patty as they're crazy. But it was like a full.
That happened to my mom. We got pizza in Chicago, so they cover it with cheese. And like a little like metal ring off of like the back of a pan or something fell off into the pizza and was covered
into the cheese.
It was covered with the cheese. You couldn't see it. My mom bit into it and was like, what is this? And then we talked to the waiter. We were like, what is this? And they were like, that is a metal piece of something that we don't know. And then they just gave us a free pizza, but we didn't live in Chicago. So it was like, we can't use it.
You got a free pizza.
I was like, what are you supposed to say to
they they didn't comp your meal. They just gave you a coupon.
They comped it and then
pizza?
they were like, come back for another free pizza. But we're like, we don't live here. So,
but also like, I'm not coming back. Like you
that
ruined my food.
That happened to me with some frozen waffles one time. I bought a box of frozen waffles. I went home and there were eyelashes in it.
Like real ones?
Like no, like fake eyelash. Like it fell off of somebody's eye.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Like eyelashes. And I like complained to the company and they sent me coupons. I'm like, you think I'm going to buy this brand of waffles ever again in my life?
It's always $1 coupons too.
Yeah, it was like one box of waffles. I'm like, okay, cool. They didn't even give me a refund.
That's just them like saying that they tried.
Do they eat waffles in the villa?
In the Love Island villa?
No,
they only eat avocado toast.
No, they eat avocado toast for every fucking meal. And what bothers me so much about it is that they're not even like smashing the avocado.
I know.
They're just putting the like
sliced avocado.
Yeah, like what are you doing on like bread that honestly doesn't even look toasted?
No, their avocado toast. First of all, they're also only eating one slice of bread with avocado. And it's like a
diet.
I think that's how most people.
I don't know, like 2 slices.
Are you like a 4-slice
like a
girl?
sandwich?
I mean, 2.
Do you like sandwich it?
Well,
she's pregnant.
You toast. Well, this was before I was pregnant, but 2 slices, 2 slices of toast with avocado. Anyway, it looks really sad to me. It's like that's gonna fill you up for. Maybe I'm alone in this, but anyway, it looks like a sad meal.
All right, now it's time to get to Andrea, who was recently voted off Love Island USA. It was very unceremonious. A lot of opinions about her exit. She was voted off by the ladies, despite her connection with Rob. We have so many questions for Andrea. How does she feel about the whole situation? Will she still consider a relationship with Rob? How does she feel about Leah? It seems to be almost manipulating the whole situation. Lots to get into with her. And then after Andrea, we'll break down the rest of Love Island USA up through episode, I think, 15. And the big blow-up between Leah and Rob. And then we have Serena and Cordell, that drama. Plus, Nicole throws a temper tantrum for what seems to be absolutely no reason. Lots to get into. Now it's time for Andrea. Article. We love Article. We love everything about it. We've been using Article for years now. I've Article couches. We have some outdoor furniture. Whether you are decorating your indoor, your outdoor, your backyard, Article has it all. From their curated assortment of mid-century, modern, coastal, industrial, Scandi, and boho designs, makes furniture shopping simple.
Article's team of designers are all about finding the perfect balance between style, quality, and price. They're dedicated to thoughtful craftsmanship that stands the test of time and looks good doing it. Our favorite thing about Article is they offer fast, affordable shipping across the US and Canada, plus they won't leave you waiting around. You pick the delivery time and they'll send you updates every step of the way. Article's knowledgeable customer care team is there when you need them to make sure your experience is smooth and stress-free.
Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/VIALL and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/VIALL for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Helix Sleep. Well, you know how much we love Helix Sleep, and we thank God we are days away from getting our new Helix mattress here at the lake, because it didn't feel like our home until we got a Helix mattress to sleep on. Because if we're not sleeping on a Helix mattress, then we definitely know we're not home. That is for sure.
As y'all know, we constantly think about our Helix mattress. Anytime we're away from home, we just can't wait to get back into our bed at home, into our Helix mattress. If you want to know the one that we have that we talk about all the time, we have the Moonlight mattress. They also have their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections. The Helix Plus is a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, and the Helix Kids mattress is designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep experts. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress.
You don't have to take our word for it. They will give you 100 nights to sleep on it, to test it out. All their mattresses come between a 10 to 15-year warranty, so you don't have to take our word for it. You will love it. I promise you that, but just know they give that to you. Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/VIALL. That's helixsleep.com/VIALL. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Andrea, welcome to the Viall Files.
Hi, happy to be here.
Great having you. Well, we were very sorry to see your exit, a very unceremonious exit that you had on Love Island, and definitely not without a lot of discourse and debate about how it all went down. Like, I guess, how are you feeling about it? Like, have you been like tossing and turning? Are you angry? Have you accepted it? Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot different now than when I first left the villa. Immediately when I left, I was just like, so in shock and angry and sad, just like flustered with all these emotions. I just felt like it wasn't fair and I was cheated, and I was obviously sad to leave Rob. So I definitely was not happy in the moment. But then obviously like sitting back now and seeing like how everything played out, at the end of the day, like no one's in control of anything. Like everything's like, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So I was kind of like, okay, like regardless of what went down, like this was exactly the way it was supposed to happen. And I'll see later why. But I was just sad and I'm just leaving everyone. I got really close to everyone really fast, especially Rob, obviously. So it's definitely like sucked to just like leave so soon.
For sure. Well, we certainly love that you have accepted it with grace. That being said, we'd love for you to go back to like when this all went down and kind of put your mind in that, mindset. But like when you first got there, I guess I want to start with Rob and your relationship with Rob. Like, was it instant when you got there? Obviously, we find out that you guys were only there for 4 days in that connection. But like, I know what it's like to be on reality TV. I know how intense those atmospheres can be. Now that you have left the villa, do you still feel as strongly about your connection with Rob as you did in that moment, or has that even changed?
Yeah, I definitely still feel the same way. It's kind of like ignorance is bliss in a way. I was really torn like the first day coming back. Like I didn't sleep. I was obviously really sad. Like the first couple days were tough. And then I really have like a big ego. I'm like, okay, Andrea, suck it up. Like it was 4 days. It wasn't that big of a deal, but the feelings are definitely still there. I haven't really watched anything since leaving. So I've kind of like avoided that too. But I feel like it's going to be one of those situations where like you're getting over an ex and then you see them and like all the emotions just come like flooding back. So I know like when I do get to see him eventually, like what I feel now is probably just going to escalate all over again. Like I've been trying to like talk myself out of it, but there's definitely feelings there and there still will be there. But I think just because I'm removed from the situation and I've been like kind of like blocking everything out, it's kind of, I've been able to like handle my emotions better. But I know like once I see him again, they'll probably change things.
Yeah. Despite as shocked as you were, when you found out that the women got to vote one of you off, were you worried? Like it very much clearly it seemed like their decision was based off of friendships and not connections. And that's, that was their choice to do that. They were given the choice to send someone home at their discretion. That was how they played it. The men played it differently. Or were you just like, there's no way these women are going to send me home because clearly mine and Rob's connection is really strong. Like how surprised were you in really real time?
Yeah, I was definitely taken aback. I knew that the other girls were closer with the girls. So like that definitely crossed my mind. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, like this is Love Island. Like how Aaron said, it's not Friendship Island. So I was like, okay, like they clearly see I have like one of the strongest connections here. So I knew they would find a way to keep Janae there. But then at the same time, it was kind of like a battle in my head. I'm like, okay, are they going to keep me there because I'm like strong with Rob, or are they going to keep Nicole there because they're closer with her? But the second I heard like Serena say her speech, like the first like 4 words, I already knew like where this was going. And then I kind of like mentally prepared myself, but also was giving her the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I kind of knew where that was going, but I was still shocked. I was getting ready to like say bye to Nicole or myself. I knew they were going to keep Janae there like 110%.
So you said you didn't watch anything since you've left. Did you watch the episode where they chose for you to go home? Did you see what the women said, how they came to that conclusion?
So I actually skimmed that part.
Okay.
I didn't want to hear anything. You guys can tell me, but I'm sure like it was along the lines of like I was playing safe and like I wasn't giving like any guys a time of day, whatever the case may be. That's kind of what she said in her speech. So I'm sure it was probably along those lines.
It was a little bit of that. They did, I forgot who it was, but one of the women suggested that, given very a la Bachelor, that maybe you were there for the wrong reasons, like that your intentions maybe weren't the same as the other women, or you were giving fake, or something along those lines. Hearing that they said that, like, what are your thoughts? Do you think, oh, maybe this is why they thought that? Or do you think it was just maybe kind of mean girl energy, or just simply just being closer with Janae and the other women than they were with you? Because clearly, obviously, you went into that villa and focused on Rob, and it seemed like in the 4 days that you were there, your intention was more on Rob rather than the friendships. And ultimately, that's seemed what cost you. But anyways, what are your thoughts on those accusations, and, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I wasn't fake at all. I feel like if anything, I was there for the right reasons. I mean, that being said, like I look back and people are like, oh, do you wish like you spent more time with the girls and catered more to the girls because that's kind of why they voted you off? But I was like, I went there what I was supposed to go there for, which was find the connection and build on it. You have such a limited time in that villa to be with that person before they throw a challenge or like a bombshell comes in. So my main focus was I really liked Rob a lot and I didn't want to like let that connection fail. So my main focus there was just spending as much time with him as possible because I liked him so much. Whereas on the girls' end, they weren't that strong in their connections. So they kind of had more time to, I guess, like support each other and be amongst themselves and like talk around and talk to the other guys. And like versus like I was so happy with Rob. I was like, I don't want to waste, like I would wake up every morning like looking forward to seeing him and going to bed every night and sleeping with him. So that was like my focus. So I felt like my intentions were 100% where they were supposed to be. Even that day, I was like, even when me and Rob were doing like really good, I kind of thought to myself, okay, like let me spend more time with the girls now that I kind of like am confident in my connection. And then I get voted off. But with that being said, I really felt like I was like the most genuine there with my intentions. I kind of was black and white with everyone on how I was feeling with Rob. I gave the girls like the best advice I could when I spoke with them. So I don't know. I felt like it was more politics than anything. And they were kind of just feeding information to each other to make themselves feel better about the decision, knowing very well that I was nothing but good to everyone there. And I went there for what I was supposed to be there for. So, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I wish I had no problem with the way the women made a decision. Like, you know, was it fair for you? Absolutely not. But like, if they want to ride for their friend, I have no problem with that. I wish the women would have owned it a little bit more. I wish they would have been like, listen, we're closer with Janae. It is what it is. Maybe Andrea and Rob have a good connection, but it's only 4 days old, whatever. We're not going to send our girl home. But instead, it was a lot of like, oh, it was difficult and it was hard. And what are you supposed to do? And like, it was like, nah, just own your decision. And I'm guessing you feel the same.
Yeah, 100%. Even, I don't know, even because I kind of skipped past, I was like, I don't want to see myself cry. I probably look horrible. So I skipped past that part. But there was a part where I did say, I was like, if it was Kayla up there, they would have never done that to her. I was like, at the end of the day, you guys chose because of friendship and not connection. And that's not what this show's about. So I definitely felt like hurt and cheated by that because if roles were reversed, if I saw how much one of the girls were really into like a guy in there, I would have never sent them home. And if I did, I would have been like how you said, I would have been straight up like, listen, like we want to keep our girls here, like whatever the case may be. But yeah, I feel like they were just kind of throwing words and things out there to make themselves feel better about their decision and not just being that they were closer with them, which is fine. Because I knew that I could have said that. I called it that it was because they were closer. So that wasn't like a shock to me in that aspect.
Well, you are a beautiful crier, so you can sleep peacefully knowing that. Can't relate. How much do you think Leah had over these women of like, well, you know, because they do say Rob might be pouty for a couple days, but he does still have Leah here and they did have that connection. How much do you think she played a part in this?
Yeah, that crossed my mind a million times. I knew she definitely had her way with words in the decision process for sure. I know like going in, like Leah always liked Rob. And even though she was like bad mouthing him and saying all these things, like I knew it was out of emotion because she still really liked him. So I knew she for sure, a part of her was like, if Andrea's not here, like I have a shot versus like if she is here, there really was no shot because Rob was kind of like destined on me and he would have not given her the time of day if I was still around. So I know 100% like she had like that crossed her mind and that played a factor for her as well.
From guy to guy, I would be shocked if Rob gave Leah another chance. That being said, if I'm wrong and you hear, whether you watch it back or you just hear that Rob does entertain a relationship with Leah again, would that completely change your perspective on giving him a second chance if he leaves the villa single, or will that not play a factor at all?
It's definitely, like I said, it's definitely crossed my mind. I wouldn't like at the end of the day, like I would be just as shocked as you, but given the environment, the circumstance, I put in the perspective as like, okay, like that, let's say that was his ex and that was a new girlfriend and now him and I broke up and the ex is still lingering around. You're vulnerable. You're in a place in an environment where you're surrounded by building connections and things are easy. I wouldn't put it past of like that rekindling in a sense of because it's familiar and because they've been there before. Would I feel it's genuine? No, I would probably feel like maybe Rob would just be being safe and there was like maybe he's not finding another connection, but I wouldn't be surprised. And it definitely like wouldn't change like my perspective on him because I was in that position being in that environment. So I know how things work. if he left and I was in that position, I'm sure like I would like just want to go with what's familiar for me. But given the way they ended and the things that she said to him and about him, with my pride and ego, I wouldn't go back to that, but that's just me.
If I were to say that from where I saw it, I don't know how Natalie thinks, that Rob actually did you dirty by making you believe that he was going to go home and putting on that whole charade, only to then not go home and pretend that he was going to stay for Aaron and the guys. What would you say to that?
I definitely had my inclinations like, why would you do a whole show and a whole scene and just be like, bye? Like, I definitely was just like, don't do that. Like, don't do the whole show. Cause I was like, oh my God, like he loves me. Like he's leaving with me. But at the same time, I get it because I am a very emotional person. And again, like I'm a mature adult. I really try to put myself in people's shoes. And I put myself in this position. I was like, okay, like if emotions were hiding in that moment, I probably would have been like, yeah, like you guys effed up. Like I'm leaving with him, da da da. But I think like when like the emotions calm down and obviously you have like your friends in your ear and other people in your ear and not just your own thoughts, like I think I would have been like, okay, like maybe she was voted off for a reason and like maybe this is like a sign or maybe I need to like explore this. And I definitely wouldn't want him to have any regrets, like let's say leaving and we don't work out or something happens and he like holds it over my head like, oh, I should have stayed in the villa and this and that. I wanted no part of that. So I know a part of him too was maybe I will regret it if I don't stay, but it's definitely a conversation that I will be having.
Yeah.
But I definitely wasn't like, oh my God, like that's it, like he's done. It was kind of like, okay, like he was emotional. He spoke out of emotion and not like clarity, which happens to all of us. But yeah, I definitely was taken aback. Like, it made me question, like, was all this genuine? Was this just for the show? Like, did you really like feel what I felt? So a lot of that crossed my mind for sure.
It's extremely valid. With that being said, I do think he has had the experience of Love Island. He's been in 3 different connections. I mean, I think if the roles were reversed and you've only been with him, so I think it would be fair for you to stay and continue to, see what this experience is about. But he has had 3 connections. You were his strongest. He slipped up and almost said he loves you. Like, I feel like he definitely could have left and had no regrets, but
yeah. That to me was the part that like, okay, like maybe he did like me, but like maybe it wasn't as genuine or maybe it was because he wanted to stay on the show. I don't know. Literally only time will tell, but I definitely like, I am a lover girl with my heart on my sleeve. So I really felt like if it was roles reversed, I probably would have left. I was like, this is it. Like, this is what I came here for. Like I found like what I wanted, like I don't need to stay. And like you have like a lot of anxiety too, like just being there because you never know like when is your last moment. Like somebody can steal your man, steal your girl, even when it's not up to you. Like Miguel could have came in there and took me and then I'm stuck with Miguel when I don't even want to be. So there's just so many factors that come into play, which goes back to why I spent majority of my time with him versus the other girls, because I didn't know like when would be like my last night with him.
You would have completely passed on an opportunity with Miguel because it seemed like all the other women were just absolutely in love with him. Did you not feel, I mean, Rob's clearly a handsome, sexy man, but like Miguel seemed to have a kind of power over these ladies that I've never seen before. Did you not feel the same about Miguel?
I did. Like I obviously was attracted to him, but like where like it comes to play like in this type of settings, like in real life, when I fall for someone, I'm kind of like, I'm locked in and I'm blinded. And I really told myself like being on this show, like, like be open to other conversations. And in like my conversations with him, like I didn't feel like anything versus like with Aaron, for example, like when I was chatting with him, like I felt more intrigued and like I wanted to get to know him more. And then with Miguel, like I know those type of guys, like off the bat, like I could call it from a mile away, like he's a player. And regardless, he would say things like, oh, I'm just here to play games. Or I'm here to search things up. So I was like, I am not going to let myself fall for this type of guy when I have someone that cares for me so much already. Like I was trying to be smart for once because back home, I'd always go for the Miguel type of guy. So I was like, okay, let me play it like where I know I should be going. Like, let me not like mess up a good thing. Like Miguel's great, but every girl also wanted him. And apparently like he had his eyes on me, like from the challenge the guys were telling me. So I was like, okay, if I like now take Miguel, then the girls if they already had anything towards me, they're going to be pissed again that like now I'm taking Miguel when like half of the girls wanted him, which again, that's not fair. Like that's what you're supposed to do. But I don't know. I didn't feel like that was a long-term thing. And me not being fake and going for what the show calls for is like, I was looking for the best connection and someone I want to like date and like whatever, who knows down the road. But Miguel didn't give me that. Miguel just gave me like fun, short time here to mess things up. And like, that's not what I was looking for.
It's a really smart decision. Did you
unfortunately, it backfired.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also your friend Nicole is kind of feeling him out, could possibly leave Kendall for him. So did you give her your read on him and any advice on how to manage that relationship?
Yeah, I definitely did, because I felt like Nicole was kind of just comfortable with Kendall. Like, I know he's a great guy and I love him, and I know she was happy with him and she said that, but I felt like she was just playing it safe. And I told her, like, if I would have stayed with Aaron, I would have been playing it safe in that aspect. Like, yeah, it's great and it's easy, but I was like, the connection and like desire and like attraction that I had with Rob, like I never felt with like any of the guys there. And I wanted her to experience that, because how she was explaining it was kind of like, you have a boyfriend, he's comfortable, he's fun, he's fine, but you're not like excited to see him. You kind of get annoyed with him at some times. And that's like the vibe I felt with her and Kendall, versus with Miguel. Like, she was smitten, she was giddy, she was excited to get to know him. And like, even if it wasn't like going to be long-term for her, I did want her to experience that and show her like you could feel something different. It doesn't have to be like so surface level, was what I felt it was with Kendall.
Yeah. Andrea, you've had to learn this the hard way. But something I've learned about reality TV is there's no rules. There's really only guidelines, and those guidelines are often meant to be broken. And with that being said, I'm wondering, and I feel like a lot of fans out there are hoping and wondering, I don't know who you would need to talk to. I don't know how if it's ever done before in Love Island, because I'm new to the show, but like, I feel like a lot of people would love a chance for you to maybe like pop back into the villa down the road and shake things up and maybe have another shot at a connection with Rob. Is that something you would be open to? Have you tried to make that happen? Who do we need to call? What's going on? Can you shed some light on this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely love to be like, I'm back, bitches. But yeah, I would love that opportunity. It's definitely crossed my mind for sure. I don't know like how that works either, or who I have to talk to, but the way this show moves, everything changes every hour. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing in an hour. Like, I have another meeting later, and then like this interview I just found out about like last night. Like, everything is just so fast the way they move. Even coming in here, like, I didn't know if I was gonna be a bombshell, if I was gonna be in Casa Amor, like everything happens. So I think if it was to happen, it would just be so last minute. They'd be like, hey, by the way, like, would you want to go back? But I definitely wouldn't be opposed. I just would love to see everyone's faces of me popping back in.
And by not opposed, you would absolutely go back, correct?
You'd have to.
Yeah, I would love to go back.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
It'd be silly not to go.
If you were to go back, would you beeline it for Rob, or would you give some of the other guys a chance? Like, obviously, depending on the timing, there may be new people, or Rob may be in a relationship. What would you do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Rob's in a relationship, I'm not going to like go through that whole thing. And now the ball's in his court because he wanted to stay. So he can figure that out. But I definitely would love to like explore and see like what else is there. But yeah, obviously, like, I still have feelings for Rob, so that's not off the table, but it would kind of just be like a case by case situation, just what would happen when I'm there. So if not, I'll see what happens when he's off the villa, and then see if everything was real or not.
Who do you think is the strongest connection there that you got to witness while you were there?
Yeah, definitely Kaylor and Aaron, for sure. I mean, from the jump, I felt like if I would have went after him, it would have been a very toxic love triangle, because she would have not let him go in the way that Leah did. So
yeah, that's valid. That makes sense.
Something that's been making, I don't know if you're aware of this, it sounds like you've been offline, but you have a music video out there of you singing.
It has resurfaced.
It resurfaced. You have a beautiful voice. Are you aware of what music video we're talking about? What the Love Me Harder she's singing?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh my God, no, that's an old one. Yeah.
Is that your voice on that? Yeah, you got a great voice.
Wow.
Are you a singer? Are you a performer? Obviously, when people see that on reality TV, a lot of the hardcore fans think, oh, she's here to become famous, as if no one else is They're for followers. But how did that all come to be? How long have you been in the music biz? Like, do you have aspirations and hopes of being a performer? Can you shed some light on this video that a lot of the fans are talking about?
That's so funny. I don't even know how. Okay, I guess it's YouTube, but yeah, I think I was 8, and I'm 25 now, so it's crazy. I was 18 when I recorded that video, but ever since I was like,
I thought you said 8 for a second.
I thought you said 8.
I look the same.
You do.
Yeah, you look great. You've aged very well. Good for you.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't have boobs yet then, so that's the only difference. I bought those after.
I think the focus is your hair. There's a lot of like hair flipping. Your hair is very long and luxurious. So there you go.
Very dramatic video, very drama. Like, yeah, all my hair, I will say. But going back, I was like 18. I started writing and music, believe it or not, when I was like 8 years old, 6, 8 years old. I would just write poems. Like I wrote a song about a farm, and my mom has it somewhere. But yeah, just that was what I've always loved, performing, like musical theater. I would like force my family to sit in the living room and hear me sing like 5 songs. They'd all have to like wiggle out and be like to my parents, like, sorry, we have to go. But yeah. So I've always like loved music and loved performing. But yeah, I started pursuing music around that time of that video. It was like, I think I was actually 17 there. But I started like pursuing music when I was 16, like professionally, like going to different record labels and like trying all these things. And like people would promise me things that weren't true. I mean, you guys know how that, if you're like in LA, that's kind of like the name of the game. Like people promise you things. So my parents, I felt so bad. Like they really want to help. That died out. And I kind of focused on fitness, which is how I kind of like grew my brand. And then like last year is when I kind of started focusing on music again, like professionally, writing cams, writing for other artists. And yeah, it's definitely something that's always my passion, always been my dream. So that's never been off the table. I am working on music now. I kind of started before I went on the show. So like, is that like an EP? But yeah, so that's kind of where my head's at. I have been single for so long, which is why I wanted to go on this show. I was like, if I can't find love in Miami, maybe I'll just fly across the world and find it. So that was definitely like there. But yeah, I wrote a song here too. So I've just been inspired, honestly, lately. But music and performing was my passion. So that's definitely something that I'm pursuing and will always pursue until people tell me to stop.
That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they do, don't listen. Like, once you get online, if I could give you any advice, is let the fans be fanatics and just don't be reading any of the comments or press. Not that they're bad or I haven't read your comments, but just as someone who's been in it before, stay away. I want to go back to Rob a little bit. After, you got sent home and he gave his whole performance about going home, you guys had some one-on-one conversations as he kind of worked through that process. Was there anything that you guys said between each other specifically? Are there things Rob said to you that we didn't get to see, that didn't make the final cut, that you maybe wish the audience did get to see or didn't track, or did things kind of play out the way we saw it?
Things definitely played out the way you saw it. I mean, we didn't get to chat for that long because you're only given such a short time once you're voted off. But yeah, we were going back and forth. It's like, oh, like, what do you want me to do? Like, he was like, if you tell me to leave, I'll leave with you. And I was like, I'm not going to tell you that. Like, that's not my
Do you believe
decision.
him,
like,
or did it feel like a line? Because it felt like a lie. It felt like something he knew you were going to say exactly what you said, which is, well, I don't want you to resent me and I don't want to be selfish.
And then later on, he could say, I asked you to, you could have told me.
And you said no. And it's just like, what if you would have been like, listen, man, like, 4 days or not, like, this is real to me. This is why I came. And if you feel the same about me, then like, put your money where your mouth is and let's go.
Yeah.
Like, do you think he actually would have left?
I don't know, because like how you said, like it did feel very like word for word or kind of like by the book in that aspect. Like even then, like after I said, like there was a moment where I was like, oh, like I don't want to be selfish, like it's up to you. And like right away he's like, I know what I'm gonna do. And it was like so quick. I was like, you didn't even think about that. Like, what do you mean? So like I definitely felt like he knew like he was gonna stay. He just like wanted me to tell him to stay, type of thing. But again, like I knew it was more about like him just wanting to like explore and like probably just stay on the show and like see what was there. But that to me like said a lot to me on like, I was like, okay, like I think it was more on my front than his on how like we were feeling. And it definitely made me question a lot. But at the end of the day, like, I can only go by how things happen when this is all said and done. I always say, like, I want to see if like what we have is real, like off screen, when there's no cameras, when there's no pressure, when like, because people obviously move different when you have cameras on top of them. So that definitely was like, okay, well, he can stay and do whatever, but like, if this is like meant to be or whatever the case may be, like, we'll revisit. If not, then he did me a favor.
How much freeness does he get to explore until you're like, okay, what the fuck? Like, no, that was too much. You did too much. Like when you get home and he's like, well, I explored with a couple other women.
Yeah, his whole like, hey, like honestly, if I date a bunch of girls and have a bunch of sex and I don't love them, then I guess we're meant to be. Honestly, I was like, I don't know if that totally tracks, but like, what is your limit?
It's not even a limit. I'm kind of just seeing how he's playing out. Like, I can tell, like, I really didn't want to watch the show, but if I'm going to give him a chance outside of this, if that's even to say, like, that's even if he wants to come out of this and reaches out to me, but if that was like the case, like definitely, like, I'm very smart in the sense of like body language. So if I'm seeing in the show that he's really not like putting an effort with these girls or even trying, like, I become like, okay, maybe like he does still feel something for me and like he's trying to be open, but he can't. But if he's just out there like balls to the wall, like, yep, single again, like here I am, then that's me, like, okay, like I clearly didn't mean anything. Like, I'm so good off that. Like, I'm not going back home and just like, boys, I'm back. Like, I'm going back home to like reconnect and like maybe get therapy. I don't know. Like, just so much.
We had a debate last episode that sometimes it seems like the girlies will, I don't know, pretend to be into things they might not be into early in a dating situation. And I guess this is all to say, do you actually like snakes and spiders? Were we just kind of like leaning into, roach catcher Rob?
Snake wrangler.
Pest control Rob.
Pest control Rob. That's good. No, I definitely wasn't like, oh my God, like I love snakes. And I told him, like, I've never been scared of them. Like, I've been like kind of like on the edge. I kind of always said like they exist or I exist. But I did find like a new love for like insects and reptiles when I went to Colombia last year with my mom, and we had to kind of like camp in this place, and there was a bunch of spiders, a bunch of bugs, a bunch of things most girls don't want to be around. And I learned to like, okay, like they're friendly, they don't want to hurt us, they're just existing. So I found a new respect for them. But obviously, like being with Rob, and I told him, I was like, I'm not going to be out here like happily doing these things, but I was like, I obviously like you and I'm into you, and like I trust you that they're not going to hurt me. And it kind of like, again, like reopened my mind, like being around, like when he made me like hold the spider or whatever, like that freaked me out. But at the same time, like, okay, like he wouldn't put me in a position to hurt myself. So I was down to like try it. But obviously, like love or lust, whatever that was, makes you do crazy things. So I know watching back, I'm going to be like, baby girl, what were you doing?
I love how it's like, I know that he wouldn't put me. It's like, he does not know this spider. He literally just found it on a leaf. And you're
like
like,
a random spider in Fiji.
That he knows this spider. They've known each other since grade school.
We go way back to like 2 days ago. So I trust him with my life.
Andrea, it's been super fun talking with you. We know you have to get going, but we wish you the best of luck. I hope for everyone's sake that the powers that be, whoever they are, get a little creative and maybe throw you back in to shake shit up. But
there is always Casa
regardless
more.
Regardless, it's been fun watching you. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I love talking to you guys.
All right, take care, Andrea.
Bye.
All right.
Summer brings warmth, but it also brings surprises. With Vessi, get ready to enjoy the season to its fullest no matter what it throws your way. Embracing every splash with Vessi's technology ensures you stay cool, comfortable, and stylish from city walks to beach escapes to spontaneous travel adventures.
Vessi has a wide range of great products: the weekend sneaker, the Stormburst low top, and the Westerly Coach jacket. It doesn't matter if it's the shoes or the jackets, Vessi is keeping you dry and stylish wherever you go. Vessi is the perfect travel shoe because, well, first of all, you don't have to overpack. Whether you're hiking or walking the streets, it's going to keep your feet comfortable and dry. They look stylish. The weekend sneaker is your classic kind of all white. It pairs with anything. If you're a bit of a sneakerhead, the Stormburst low top definitely has a great design. And the Westerly Coach jacket is like the coolest rain jacket you can find. It's not one of those things where it just looks like you have a garbage bag on your body. It's a stylish coat. You know, it's great. But the most important part is 100% waterproof. You're going to stay dry and comfortable when you are sporting Vessi. Ready to embark on the ultimate summer adventure? Dive into excitement, embrace the thrill, and create unforgettable memories. Visit Vessi.com/VIALL to find the perfect blend of style and practicality in shoes designed for urban getaways, and enjoy an instant 15% off your first order at checkout.
Sandals, sunscreen, snacks for the kids, what do these have in common? You're probably buying a ton again this summer, but don't stress about the cost. Use Ibotta and get cash back on all your purchases when you stock up on all your summer essentials. Ibotta is a free app that gives you the most cash back every time you shop on hundreds of items from groceries to beauty supplies to toys, so you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. That could cover the cost of an entire shopping trip, that flight you've been eyeing, or the fancy dinner you've been craving. Other apps give you points that don't amount to much. With Ibotta, just add your offers in the app, upload your receipt, and get real cash that you can cash out to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards.
Join the over 50 million users and earn cash back every time you shop over 2,700 brands and retailers, including all your favorite grocery stores, Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and so much more. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code VIALL when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use code VIALL. Again, that's Ibotta in the Google Play or App Store and use code VIALL. Well, what do we think of Andrea? I thought she was very charming.
I hope she shows back up.
Yeah, I want her to come back up. Casa Amor, maybe, possibly.
And I also wish
Hopefully.
she would have, I mean, I understand why she didn't, but like watching how they came to the decision of sending her home, I feel like I would have just been interested in, but she was like, no, I skipped all that.
Yeah, I was surprised she chose not to watch it. Like
Yeah,
the
same.
exit.
Same.
And probably good for her mental health, but you know, she seemed more likable than she was on camera. Like when you talk to them one-on-one. That was honestly, I think my biggest takeaway of Love Island, which I'm really enjoying, like just the editing, the way it's all done. I love how they use the music, right? You know, with like Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelor, every scene has some kind of melody, some kind of generic, you know, royalty-free soundtrack they're using, and it's always, no matter what. But I kind of love how on Love Island, it's a lot of like dead air. Not even it's just the two people talking. There's no background music. It's just like kind of your raw, authentic conversation. And as like the moment kind of intensifies, that's when they'll drop like the music, and it's not just generic music. It's some sort of like actual song, and it has a feeling, and it really makes, like obviously Love Island has been doing this. I don't know any other reality TV show that does this where they're using actual music, but it makes this reality TV show feel more like cinematic, more like a movie. Like there's more added drama to it. I really quite love it. Another thing I've noticed on Love Island, where like, I honestly just kind of like everyone. Like everyone's involved in drama a little bit, but for whatever reason, I don't know if this is like deliberate for the edit, but it just, and I guess I haven't been reading a lot of like Love Island USA tweets, and I know like people get into things and like, pick sides, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they're trying to like really bury anyone in the edit. And like everyone does get along. There seems to be a lot of camaraderie. Yeah, there's drama. But I do like, even though there's drama, people will make up quickly and move on. Like when we're on Bachelor World, they act like any type of drama is like a World War III, And there's something about Love Island where the drama is, it's still dramatic, but like I don't know, like everyone seems overall likable, and it just kind of makes me enjoy watching it a little bit more. I don't know. Did you always notice that on Love Island, Leah, watching previous seasons? Is that always the case?
Well, this is my first season watching USA, but I love Love Island in general, just because it feels more like you're just watching them in their natural habitat as opposed to like it feeling more produced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that to Nick. I was like, because there's no like cameramen. There's no camera people like holding cameras in front of their faces, right? It's all like hidden cameras in stuff, right?
Yeah, they're not so much hidden, but like they're everywhere. You can see them, but they're not.
I know,
it feels
not
like
people,
they're
it's
not.
very different than people walking and holding cameras and things like that. And It's, I mean, even then, when I was on The Bachelor, I was shocked by just how quickly you just kind of ignore the cameras, forget the cameras are there, and that means people. And this with cameras being kind of like on flagpoles or in the corners behind pillows and things like that. You see them, but yeah, you quickly forget that they're there.
You also get episodes daily with this. So like you're getting a lot more context than other reality shows.
Yeah, they release like I think
Well,
between like
to Justin's point, they're not.
Tuesday.
They're showing more. Like even asking Andrea, like a lot of like a very common question we'll ask people from any franchise is like, we know how we don't get to see most things. A lot of like Bachelor, you're seeing 5-10% of everything that's filmed. Love Island, I still don't think we're seeing everything, but we're seeing a lot more of the things that go on.
Yeah.
So it's harder for them to like shift context and things like that, which I do appreciate it. And it seems a lot more normal.
I think too, because it's recorded live, like they don't have that much time to like edit it the way that they do like Perfect Match that's coming out months and months and months and months later, where they have time to like sit there and, craft it. This is like, all right, we're going to like take this scene from here and that scene from there and put it all in. And
there's not like all the the things that make The Bachelor what it is. And I don't know how much like Perfect Match does that, but like it's the voiceovers, it's like hearing someone giving commentary where you don't see their lips move and they're talking about a situation. And you're right, like that voice over could have been recorded weeks in advance or different. And it's very easy to like completely change context when you do that. And there does seem to be a lot less of that. In fact, there doesn't seem to be you kind of see voiceovers, but they are always showing people in the kind of confessionals.
Yeah.
So like technically it could do that, but you're right. With the quicker turnarounds, it's much harder to manipulate and do that.
I also do wish Ariana was in it more. Like she's like
the hosts
she hasn't been in like a couple of episodes.
Yeah, why don't they bring her out a little bit more?
The hosts are, I feel like, very rarely come out. But I mean, every time she does, she is looking better than the time before.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's just more like listen, the host of any of these shows is never, honestly, if your host is your main character, you're doing it wrong. So it makes sense that as the show progresses and we get to know these characters more and we're more invested in their stories, they're leaning on the host a little bit less. That being said, I mean, it is Peacock, it is Ariana, like they brought her on for a reason. And with the fandom and the loyalty that surrounds Ariana right now, it just seems like they might as well find a couple extra scenes and excuses to bring Ariana out in ways that they maybe didn't in the past, even if they don't normally do it. Not to necessarily like change the show or make it about Ariana, but just like bring her out and have her like, instead of sending a text, send out Ariana. It's not that big, like do it once. Like there's episodes where she's just not in.
Right, like maybe she could be there for the games.
Or something, right?
Yeah, because it's like they're just getting texts on how it like works and then
I call it text.
I don't know. But I think we should start with the dance competition.
Yes.
Who were you shocked by and who were you not shocked by? I mean, I think the obvious answer is Serena and Cordell.
Yeah,
sure.
Especially because she just, my heart broke in that moment. I think I may have even shed a tear. I'm not going to lie.
I absolutely love those two together. Like
Same.
Cordell and Serena are like my absolute favorite couple. I actually think Serena might be my favorite person in the villa.
Oh,
There's
mine's
something
Cordell.
about her I love. I just love. She seems authentic and real. I kind of have a crush on Serena. But at the same time, I love Cordell. Like Cordell is the sweetest man ever. Like he's great looking. He's got fashion. He's funny. He's lighthearted. Why he's not getting more attention? I don't know. I know he's not the big suave Miguel. The bad boy Rob. Like
He's
Rob,
so funny though.
Like Rob is and Miguel. They're so similar in different ways. And Rob's even growing on me. Honestly, I just kind of like everyone. Like I love the characters that they play. But like Rob is definitely a professional fuckboy. Like who's the new blonde who came in, the new bombshell?
Yes.
Rob knew all he had to do was nothing. Rob deliberately stayed in the shadows. Like Rob knows that like he's got the face that he has and he's pretty, and he was just waiting for her to come up to him, and his whole thing was to not give her any attention and wait for it to bother her.
What did you think about her coming in and saying that when they asked her like who her top 3 were or whatever, and she said that there were a few that she liked their looks, but the personalities or like their actions kind of ruined it for her. And like in my mind, she was talking about Rob, but then of course she goes to Rob.
Well, she hadn't really talked to Rob there. And also, like, yeah, maybe she even said that, but how often do we say that about people? We often say, there's a quote I remember, and it was a high school quote. I really liked it. Someone from my high school, I think his name was, forgot his name, doesn't matter. His high school quote was, "You hate the people you don't know them because you hate them."
Period.
It's a great quote.
No, you don't know them because you hate them.
Well,
And how many of us like decide that we don't like someone, or we'll say we don't like their personality? She was basing that solely off the fact that Rob didn't go up and greet her. Rob wasn't one of the guys who's like, "Hey, welcome to the villa. It's good to see you. You look great." He wasn't like being the affable, like outwardly, social guy. So she decided to like think, ew, he's a dick, while simultaneously being like, why doesn't he talk to me? Like it's like dating 101. And whether Rob's I think Rob's doing. Rob just knows what he's doing. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to garner interest, and that is to just ignore, and like not give someone the attention. Whether Kendall did it on purpose, like with the dance competition, that was the absolute best move he could have done.
Oh my God, we
I
gave him
agree.
like a standing
I was just
ovation.
like,
I was
yes.
so proud of him. I was so
proud of him.
happy.
What's interesting, like after the shock and awe of like even Serena after she left, which I agree with you, I was hurt. I was hurt for the couple that I love. I wasn't really mad at her. I felt for him. I was sad for myself because I absolutely love rooting for them. But Serena kind of like, she seems like a pretty straight shooter. And the question was, if you're opening to consider other relationships, that was the only question. The question was, if you hate your match and you want to break up and never talk to them again, right? Am I remembering that correctly? It was about like, if you want to explore the relationships. And Serena was like, listen, dude, we literally said that. So they went in, and Cordell's thinking, well, I thought of it like, well, we have a good thing. Now, clearly, Cordell's only agreeing to be open to other people because he knows that Serena wants that. So like, if Serena was just like, you're my only guy, like I'm pretty sure Cordell would have been like, all right, cool. Like I'm down to focus
She's
on
in.
you. So we kind of know that to be true. But Serena is still being straightforward and honest. So like I was less mad at the situation after Serena got to sit down and talk to Cordell. And I really respected her. Like when she went on the date, Cordell was like, if she fucking kisses this motherfucker, like I'm going to be like all pissed off because she's been telling me about a slow burn. And so like I immediately was like, fuck yeah, Cordell, that's exactly right. She better not fucking kiss another guy. But she didn't. You know what I'm saying? She is a woman of her word, and so she's consistent. And I love that about her.
I wouldn't have kissed Nigel either. Ooh. He's so stiff. He's so just like.
She's a gym bro.
No, he just feels very like.
No swag.
Robotic and very like the words he was like, I bet you're a good kisser. And she's like, probably. He's like, you think I'm gonna find out? Like that's just
The pickup,
Cringy.
the
Like,
lines
come
that
on.
these guys are using to get them to
Even,
kiss.
what's the other one's name? Kenny. Even him being like, you have nice lips. Can I have a taste?
It's like, oh my
Yuck.
God. Ugh.
Brutal.
Ugh.
Absolutely brutal. Disgusting.
Rob would
No.
never. Rob would never.
Miguel would never.
No,
Yeah.
Rob waits for it to come to him.
Or he knows when to make the move. Like Miguel, yeah. Miguel just goes in. He doesn't narrate what he's trying to do, or like ask a creepy question. No one wants to be asked,
Can I have a taste is actually so foul. I don't care who you are. I'm saying no. Nick, we're married. We have a child. If Nick's like, can I have a taste of your lips? No, you can't. What are you doing?
Yeah.
No. A taste of my lips? It's scary.
Ugh. Would you rather be hot or would you rather have a good personality?
Good personality.
Good personality, mediocre looks.
Because having good personality makes you hot.
Yeah.
No, I think so good personality,
And-
mediocre looks.
And being hot and having a shitty personality makes you uglier.
That's true.
I'd say
Yeah.
good personality. Is it good looks or like, are you ugly?
Yeah, it's like, how ugly are you?
I'm with Natalie. A good personality makes you hot. at the end of the day.
personality can make you
Yeah.
older. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, but a good looks make people make excuses about your personality all the time. You get unlimited chances if you're hot. You can always improve your personality. You can only do so much with your looks.
Listen, I don't know, because Nigel and Kenny are both like good-looking guys,
Yeah.
but the second they open their mouth, I was like, absolutely not.
And Kenny's 24, and he's gonna watch this back, and I hope he has women in his life that say, never say that fucking shit again. Maybe he'll listen to this podcast and see, women like you that are saying that's disgusting, and he'll be like, you know what? That's probably something I shouldn't say in the future. I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna mature. And he's still 6'4" with those beautiful curly locks and those beautiful brown eyes. Like, looks fade, but like it takes a while. He can work on his personality. He can grow up. He can mature.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can't, but like,
I would say good personality because I think that like being funny is something that you can't like learn how to be. There are some people that are just like funny or like they're just quick. But then you see these dating shows, we see like Perfect Match, we see The Bachelor, we see Love is blah, 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 all of them. And it's like every time it seems to be that like the person with the good personality, the nice one, the one who's treating the women right, doesn't get picked.
True.
And they go for the asshole who's hot, but then that ends up not working out.
I just think you can always improve your personality. And I agree with you. That's not everyone has the funny bone, but you can improve your sense of humor. And while you may never be a comedian and you may never be like quick-witted, just improving your sense of humor will improve your personality. And it will make you like a little funny sometimes. You can be goofy. Anyone can be goofy, even if you can't be funny. Like, I don't think Cordell's funny. I think he's goofy.
Funny.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's
okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a great
I think he's so funny.
But I think he's more goofy than funny.
Goofy and funny is a good distinguishing
What is the difference between goofy and funny?
Goofy is just like more your attitude about life, and you're kind of lighthearted. You're willing to laugh a lot. Like Leia, you have a great laugh track. You laugh at most things.
That's true.
I do laugh at most
more of a goof. But that's great. That's like, it's great to have that in your circle. It's great to have the person who's just like, you know what, I'm going to just laugh at jokes. I'm not going to take it all that seriously. Doesn't mean you laugh at everything. And I think that's kind of Cordell. Like, I love when him and Serena are laughing together. That's why I love him so much. It's such a joy. And it's like his goofy, kind of quick to laugh at, anything she says because he enjoys what she has to say. Is just kind of it keeps the goofiness going, It has less to do with him saying something funny, and he's making the moment funny by being willing to laugh and be goofy and having a sense of humor about things. And I do think that's something people can work on.
So would you rather be goofy or funny?
I'd rather be funny because that's a skill that's harder to replicate.
Because funny is intention, goofy is just who you are.
Funny is like you're quick with the jokes and like
funny is a skill set. Like goofy, you can just.
So it's like, are you giggling or are you making the jokes? Is the distinction?
Goofy, all you have to do is just unwind. You just have to like chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? You just have to not take everything so seriously. You just have to like be goofy. You can choose to be goofy. When you try to be funny and you're not, yuck.
Cringe.
I'd rather be hot and then decide to be goofy.
Okay.
And then,
That's a
work
good
on my
answer.
personality. Pretty privilege is the greatest privilege in the world. People treat you differently. You get unlimited chances. Is it fair? No. Is it right? Absolutely not. But it's the way of the world.
I do think that people give you more chances and that like pretty privilege is a huge privilege. But I also think it only goes so far because most of these relationships where they choose the hot one, it dies if they don't have a good personality to back it up.
Yeah. They get another shot though.
With someone else. And then.
Yeah.
It's not right. I don't agree with it, but it's not what it is. Nicole. What is wrong with Nicole? Boy, it wasn't the best episode for her.
No.
I loved how even Leah, who's like the drama queen of the villa, even Leah was like having Kendall's back. Like, Janae, all of them were like, Nicole, come on. Like, what is he, and they were and they were being nice about it. They were just explaining, listen, like you were literally making out with Miguel. You are already exploring another relationship. And once again, the rules of the game was, are you open to exploring another relationship? So and she kept saying, well, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. It's as if Nicole's honesty was somehow made Kendall not allowed to explore other relationships while she explores a relationship with Miguel. It's like, I get to call dibs on exploring a relationship inside this relationship. And because I'm being honest about it, therefore you can't? Like, clearly, obviously, Nicole just felt embarrassed. Like, she hated that. But nevertheless, so what is her expectation? Her expectation is that the person how does Kendall feel? Does Kendall have a right to be embarrassed that, like, he's been hanging out with Nicole for a couple days and in walks the fuckboy? And instead of just being like, hey, I got a good thing with you, we have a good connection, talking about your chemistry, she's like, well, he makes me nervous. So I'm going to like, and as Kendall describes, she'll go from like talking to me, cuddle with me, making out with me, and then immediately walk over to Miguel and do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have the right to feel foolish or embarrassed? Like, where is Nicole's like ability to like empathize or just put herself in Kendall's shoes? Like, Kendall had every right to call her out to be a hypocrite. Like, I don't know. It was shocking how her double, like, it's one thing for her to have the reaction at first. I get it. You're embarrassed. Like, fine. She just went on and on and on about it. And even after the women were like, hey, Nicole, it's okay, she starts crying and she's like, I don't know why you're defending him. It's like they weren't defending him. They were just explaining to you, well, maybe your reaction isn't quite, reasonable.
She seems like the type of person that just doesn't like to be told that she's wrong.
At all. Yeah. Like, I think that's all you need to know about Nicole.
Don't be critical of her at all. Are we about to get a special guest?
No, she just woke up.
The way that you guys are looking at her right now.
No, she wakes up with the biggest smile on her face. It's the cutest thing. She's so happy.
Leah and Rob's fight. I kind of think it was overblown.
I kind of disagree. Listen, like, those 4 girls, they decided on Andrea. And in that group, they were like, we are going to have each other's back on this. Like, we are going to stand by each other. We made this decision as a group. Like, we're standing on that. And then for Leah to go to Rob and be like, just to let you know, I had like such a backseat. Like, I like basically wasn't even there. Like, I didn't say a thing. It was all of them voting. And like, I love her so much. I don't even want her to leave. It's a lie. It's not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she definitely like went back on their like,
when Leah was like, what does backseat mean to you? And it just got so ridiculous. It just became a semantical argument about like nothing.
No, you could just tell that Leah got like caught in her words and she's backpedaling and she's trying to like, be like, no. What I meant was that I took the backseat in their relationship. But it's like, but that's not what you said. You told Aaron, you told Rob, you told someone else that you took a backseat in the decision making of sending Andrea home.
And she said that she didn't
different things.
Talk shit about Rob to Andrea, which again, roll the tapes. We see it. Like, you're gonna watch this back. That was so uncomfy. Just watching somebody just like they are wrong and they don't know how to get out of this hole that they've dug. So they just keep digging it.
Yeah. Like, I definitely hate like gang up situations. And I applaud Serena endlessly for being like, no. What we're not going to do is like gang up on Leah. Like, what's going on over here? I think Liv was definitely probably the wrong person to call to like fact check you.
Yeah.
I think maybe she probably should have called Kaylor if she wanted like a more
or no
chill environment.
How do you come back from this? I thought Leah and Rob were going to get back together, but now like, would you take Leah back after like this? Just
no. Why? Rob hates Leah. Like, I don't think that, before this fight and Leah came up to Rob and he's just like fucking with her. And like, no, I think Rob clearly liked Andrea better. Like we told Andrea, like, I don't know what Rob was, going to do. And by the time you see this, we didn't know what Rob was going to do because I hadn't watched this, this episode while we talked to Andrea. But from my point of view, if I felt like a girl that I used to date sabotaged a current relationship, I would hate her. Like, it would give me such an ick. That would give me a man ick for sure.
And you can tell when he's having the conversation with Leah that he's so checked out and she's trying to like, he's fucking with her. She's like, what are you thinking? And he's like, I can't say it. And she's like, she's like, oh my God, it's like he wants to kiss me. He like loves me. Like he's gonna say something. And he's like, how do eels like reproduce? Like that's his,
He's fucking with
he's
her.
fucking with her so hard. And you can just tell he's so over her in that entire conversation.
And I think him saying like, oh, of course I care about her. I think I care about you is one of the most offensive things you can say to someone in a courting situation. I care about you. Just tell me you hate me. Just tell me you just want to be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like there are so many more like interesting and passionate and meaningful things you can say to something. Like what we were talking about this last night. You know what I want people to say? But like, oh, there's something about you. I just don't know what it is. You seem like trouble. Like, oh my God. Like that.
I love to
you
say
know,
that.
you know someone wants to fuck you when they're just like,
You're
I don't
trouble.
know, you're trouble. I don't know. Like I think
I'm gonna get in trouble.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, you're
with
gonna
you.
get me in
Like,
trouble.
You're just dangerous.
Yeah.
Versus, you know what? I just really, I care about you. I care, like, I'm just, you know, I do care about you. I do care about you.
I just care so much.
I just care so much. Like, you hate that person. All you care about is them not thinking you're an asshole when they finally realize that you don't want to date them. And Rob just saying, yeah, I care about Leah is like, Rob is so over fucking Leah. It's not even funny. And honestly, him finding out this truth about what Leah did was his out. Like, Rob is a professional TV maker. I mean, I'm enjoying Rob. Like Rob is making this season very enjoyable. Like he knows how to play the game. He plays it well. And he's very covert about it. But like he knew to like pretend to like be interested, but knew that like Leah would just like fuck it up. And yeah. So I never for a second thought they'd get back together.
Really? So you think it's done?
I think Rob will maybe, yes. I don't think they ever get back together. I think there's a world where you might see Rob pretend to entertain it or whatever. I think Rob, again, is a professional Love Islander.
No, do we think Leah goes home? Because there's a recoupling and she's like, unless one of the new guys couples with her, but none of
She's excellent television. I don't know. I think they find a way to keep her. You know, Andrea, sweet. You know, what did we learn about Andrea? We got to interview her. She's very sweet. And you know what? Kind of not dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of her answers.
Very level-headed.
Very level-headed, very pragmatic. You know, she's already like decided that everything happens for a reason, you know? Like that's not Leah. You know, Leah is excellent television. And I just think they find a way. And Leah is like obviously someone who like, at least we know that the men right away at first impressions, all the guys are at least interested in Leah. Like they may end up not liking her personality or things like that, but like she's a bit of a bombshell and she turns heads and like she causes drama. So, you know, whether it's, you know, bringing in new bombshells or what, like, I don't know. I think they find a way to keep her.
Yeah. Poor Connor.
Credit to Connor. Like I really respected that when Connor was like, I was like, Connor, what are you doing? Just leave. You should have known. But like, I respect that Connor was just like, you know what? I still like her. I'm going to stay. I knew she was leaving. I love that. I love that this is a guy who is still going to go for what he wants. No fear. He set his ego aside. You know what? I'm not going to let this embarrass me. I'm just going to lean into like what I want. I'm going to stand up for what I want. And if she doesn't like me, she doesn't like me. Like literally the opposite of Nicole. Nicole doesn't give a shit about Kendall or anything else. She just cares about not liking stupid. And what Connor is just like, you know what? A girl not liking me, not the end of the fucking world. Yeah. You know, but on the off chance I'm wrong, I'm going to stand here. I'm going to have some guts. I'm going to do my stupid little dance and I'm going to, you know, and I'm going to take it. And I love it. And then and then after he got rejected, here he was consoling Cordell and just like being totally fucking fine and not pouting and not sulking. Connor like definitely went up notches in my book. Like
he's got a good attitude.
They seem like, and also overall I feel like there's just, everyone's kind of a fuckboy and everyone's just like young and like having fun. But I feel like overall, like the whole cast is like fairly decent people. You know, I'm not saying they're perfect. I don't saying they haven't had mistakes and, you know, whatever. But like overall, like it's a solid group.
They've all grown on me. They've really all grown on me.
I really like this group of people. I really do. I think Cordell and Serena are my favorite. Rob needs to be on the whole season. He's excellent television, and Leah as well. It's a good cast. I'm enjoying it. I'm so glad I found Love Island USA. I hope eventually we have to have the time to give UK a shot. But like, I think, Team Ariana, we're into USA. And
this season of USA is better than this season of UK. I'll say
Are
it.
you still watching UK?
Like, yes, but I'm not up to date because I'm enjoying USA much more.
Yeah, it's great. Well, join along if you haven't watched it yet. It's a quick catch up. It's an easy watch. So give it a shot. Join along with us. We'll be talking about even more as the season goes along. You guys have a very happy holidays. Again, there is no going deeper this week. We have a big going deeper next week. It's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be good. Until then, don't forget to check out all our amazing episodes we dropped last week. If you haven't listened to the Micah episode, it's a great one. Be sure to check out all our Ask Nick episodes. If you are someone who is going through it, going through a breakup, a heartbreak, if you're having a problem with family members or friends or things like that, and you want to hear relatable stories and get some sage advice, check out our Ask Nick episodes. You will not regret it. Other than that, tell your friends, sending your Ask Nick questions at asknick@theviallfiles.com. Rate, review, all that fun stuff. Enjoy your holidays. Be safe. Don't blow off your hands. We'll see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.